We're in Conway on the campus of the University of Central Arkansas for the Gulf South Conference Game of the Week. Tonight, the UCA Bears play host to the undefeated University of North Alabama Lions. Hi, I'm Bob Valvano along with Jesse Branch. And just this defense for North Alabama has been stifling. They've only given up 7 points all year before halftime. And yet, maybe the biggest story is the guy they moved from the defensive side of the football to the offensive side.
Anthony Merritt. I mean, he is absolutely a story to tell. He's now the team's leading scorer. He's their leading receiver. He's also leads the team in all-purpose yards, averaging 196 yards a game. He scored every way you can score. He's scored receiving, he's scored running, he's scored punt returning, kickoff returning. He's a great football player.
Better watch out. He can probably do this job up here as well, so we better be careful. But for the home team, they're going to need some big plays to beat this undefeated team and this stifling defense. And one of the guys who can do it is their leading receiver,
Aaron Faraz. Aaron is 6'6", 216 pounds. He leads the Gulf South Conference in yards per game, for the season with 542 yards. He set a school record a few weeks ago against Tennessee Barton. He caught 13 passes for 174 yards. He's a guy that UNA will definitely have to stop.
Well, let's check in. Last week, it was a roasty evening. Tonight, a comfortable one at kickoff. A guy who's got to be a lot more comfortable down on the field. Let's check in with Jim Cavall.
Bob, it's a lot more comfortable down here on the field compared to last week's 97-degree heat at field level. But one big story for UNA remains their linebacker. Outside linebacker Donald Tharp is back this year after sitting out in 2004 with some issues with head injuries. Too many concussions left him out after an all-conference campaign in 2003 when he was the anchor of the defense, or as Coach Mark Hudspeth would say, the bell cow of the defense that the defensive players for the UNA Lions like to feed off of. Also, we have to remember that this is a little bit of a homecoming for two people for UNA, the head coach, Mark Hudspeth, and the quarterback, Vinny Saylor. Saylor was told by Hudspeth earlier today, you have nothing to prove offensively with statistics. Just get the job done, win the game. The score is what matters the most. Bob?
All right, Jim, thanks very much. We got Lions and Bears, no Tigers. Oh, my. We got the Gulf South Conference Game of the Week. The kickoff is next. Back here in Conway, Arkansas, we're just moments away from the kickoff for what promises to be one of the very outstanding games in the early part of this GSC schedule, Jesse.
Well, there's no question this is a very big game in the Gulf South. UNA right now undefeated. UCA has lost one game. It's a very big game.
Mark Hudspeth, you see in his 4th season as the head coach, they're off to a great start. He's 26-13, a Delta State graduate, the class of '92, and his counterpart on the home sideline, Clint Conk, is in his 6th year as the head man for the Central Arkansas Bears, 36-25, and he has won 14 of his last 19 games. This has been, we talked in the open about the terrific defense for North Alabama, Jesse, and yet they've gone through 6 defensive coordinators in the last 6 years. How do you explain this great start for that ball club?
Well, I just think that it's one of those things. They had things in place with the new coordinator. He brought in a few good players. They've got a great scheme, and they've got a great organization. And I think that that's what makes it go. It's just that they got good players, they got good coaching, and right now they're a good player.
You take a look at their head coach, Mark Hudspeth, as we talked about. In 2003, he led this team to a 13-1 record and the regular season championship. Jesse, what are the keys for them?
Oh, no question. His big key is get the ball to the playmakers. He's got 2 key playmakers on the field, and one of them, of course, we already talked about already, is Anthony Merritt. And I tell you what, he'll be getting that ball at least 10 to 15 times during the game from that wide receiver position, either running it or catching passes, and there's no question he's one of the big ones. The other thing, of course, is to win a turnover battle.
How about for his counterpart? This would be, even though it's a home game, an impressive win for UCA. What do they have to do?
Well, they got to make it a 4-quarter game. They got to make sure that UNA doesn't put it away in the first quarter, and also that they got to win the turnover battle. Whoever wins the turnover battle, both these teams are very good in the turnover battle, but that'll be a big key.
Garrett Morgan ready to get us going, and if he kicks it to that guy, he's taking a chance because he can score from anywhere on the field, Anthony Merritt, and he has proven that already. We're underway. Well, they've kicked to him, Jess, and here he goes.
Oh, I tell you, I know Coach Conk right now is holding his breath. He did not want to. Oh,
well, the ball's come loose. They're waiting for a signal. And I believe it's going to be a turnover. But no, the officials have not indicated anything yet. The fans all have erupted, and the players haven't. There's the signal. It is a turnover on the opening kickoff. Anthony Merritt ran it back to about the 21-yard line. We were talking about his possibility of breaking everything for a touchdown, and on the first play, a big turnover.
That is two things that already Coach Conk has gotten in his favor. He wanted this game. Number one is the turnover, and number two is to stop Anthony Merritt on the very first attempt, and he gets a turnover. What a great play.
Well, we'll see what Central Arkansas can do with what has got to be considered an unexpected pleasure. Turnover on the opening kickoff. Nathan Brown leads them out. And there's not much there. That's going to be a loss of about 3.
That is not what he would have wanted to happen on the first play of the game.
Well, on the one hand, Jesse, I was going to ask you about that. You get a turnover, you want to be very aggressive here because they haven't given up a touchdown in the first half all year. Their defense, and yet you certainly don't want to get too conservative and take yourselves out of a scoring opportunity. Second down and 12 here on the loss there.
Yeah, you don't want to get in those situations against this North Alabama team in a hurry. This is long.
Nathan Brown has completed about 70% of his passes. He swings one out to the near side, and it's going to be a gain of about 9, down to about the 13-yard line. The pass completed. Number two, Michael Norvell. Take a look at the Central Arkansas offense across the front. Jones, Ford, Farr, Rodriguez, who's had an outstanding career. He's been a little nicked up, though. And Ronnie Lee. Rogers, Shaw, the backfield for Roos, Norvell, and Farris are the receivers. You saw Norvell there pick up about 10, brings up a 3rd and 2.
That was a little bubble screen out there. That's a big play for UCA. That's one of their favorite plays.
Rolls right, and it's going to be close. Jesse, from where I am, that looks like a first down, and we will wait for the signal, but it certainly looks like he's got it. You take a look on the defensive side of the football for North Alabama, Jackson, Waller, Shack, and Hunt. The linebacker, Tharp, the guy we talked about in the open, back off of concussions last year. He's been a key part of this defense. Banks and Wright. And the secondary, Campbell, Suggs. Rice also started his career here. So homecoming of sorts for him and Farris. First and goal now from the 9, and this would be a huge, huge play if they are able to punch this in, as this defense has been impenetrable in the first half all year. There's a little toss back. And he's in, Jesse.
Great play, toss sweep. That's a big score. That's the way you want to start.
Rogers with a 9-yard touchdown run, and this is exactly what they had to be hoping to get. Clint Conk has got to be thrilled about this. Take a look at it again.
Great sweep, great protecting the football, ducking that shoulder, breaking the first tackle, putting the ball over the goal line. What a great play.
Rogers, as you get another look at it here, is one of the guys we talked about has got to have big game, and they got a big break off of the opening fumble on the kickoff. The point after is down and up and through, and just like that, a minute and not even a minute and a half into the game, and we got a 7-0 lead for the home team. We have got a strange beginning here because they have been scored on, the Lions, and we'll see if they can bounce back. 7-0 UCA. 13:39 to play here in quarter number 1, and a 9-yard touchdown run by Kentrell Rogers. You're just joining us. Anthony Merritt, the explosive return man for North Alabama, fumbled the opening kickoff at about the 22-yard line, and Central Arkansas able to punch it in from there, culminated by that 9-yard run by Rogers, and 7-0. And Jesse, you sharing with me an interesting stat during the break.
Well, when teams are equally matched or very closely matched, it's a very high percentage of the time, somewhere near 80%. The team that kicks off first will score first, and that makes it very. And that happened tonight. That's one of the reasons that UCA choose to defer to halftime. They wanted to kick off first.
Well, they certainly took advantage of it and get off to the early start. Again, this has been a defense for North Alabama that has not given up a point in the first half all year. They've only been scored on 7 points in the first half all season. That was on a fumble return. And a minute and a half into the game tonight, they find themselves down 7-0. And we'll wait for the kickoff here from Morgan. Again, they go deep. Let's see what he does with it this time. And again, a good hit. Well, they are, I guess, Jesse, no matter how much you prepare, it's no surprise how talented that young man is, but they have put the clamps on Anthony Merritt early here.
They're bringing a message to him right away now. They're doing their best to do their part to take care of Anthony, and I mean, that's the thing you got to do. You got to send a message right away.
Well, North Alabama will take over with Vinny Saylor, who is completing about 64% of his passes. You see a great turnover to interception ratio, 10 tosses to only 3 picks. He started his career here at Central Arkansas, and now a homecoming of sorts for him. We have penalty markers down.
As a coach, you really don't want to see the game start this way, and especially when you're the visiting coach, you don't want to see things start this way.
Well, Jesse, that is a good point. Are they rattled a bit by that quick score? Now they get an illegal substitution, and they wind up first and 15, and really that's got to be the kind of thing as a coach that drives you crazy.
Oh yeah, that drives you to the booth. That'll drive you to the booth doing color to hurry.
Well, so without running a snap of the football, they backed up 5 yards, first and 15 on their own 16-yard line. It's long in motion. Saylor hands it to Packer. He's got a little bit of room. These two teams, Jesse, would be good stop, by the way, on the play right there by the Central Arkansas defense. Johnson. Take a look at the offensive line. Mass Wilkins, Anchor, Bates, and Reed. DeMarcus Blunt, Jason Messing, Jerron Fountain, Anthony Merritt, Chip Long. And we talked about Fountain and Merritt having to have big games as well as Long. All those receivers really have got to come up big.
And Jerron Fountain's also a big play guy, so we have to keep an eye on him as well.
They stop that before they call it no gain. So it's second down and 15. Ball still at the 16-yard line. Got a little bit of time now. Pressure throws it away. And this defense is off to a great start. Oh, and there's going to be a flag on the play. Boy, that is, again, Jess, the kind of thing they were in a situation to put up what would have been a 3rd and 15, and instead now an unnecessary penalty.
Unnecessary. It's going to be a first down, actually, because it's roughing the passer. And, you know, clearly it was almost an intentional grounding, the way he threw the ball, but then the roughing, boy, oh, they did call it on that. Okay.
I thought they called roughing the passer as well.
Now is the fourth spot, third down.
They have stumbled out of the gate. This team, which has had such a blitzkrieg of the first half, North Alabama in the first half has outscored people 90-7. And they find themselves now trailing 7-0, and in a 3rd and 20, they have not gained a positive yard yet on this possession, have had a penalty, actually 2 penalties, and bring up a 3rd and long here. We'll see what Saylor's got up his sleeve. Little inside handoff, Packer on the delay, and the ball is loose again, Jesse.
One of the things that we haven't said anything about is UCA's defense is awfully good as well. We haven't talked about them, but they are really they have really an improved squad over last year, and I think we're seeing that, obviously.
Well, if it weren't for North Alabama, you take a look at it again on the delay. You see Packer, and we'll see at the end of this play, the ball does come loose. Not sure who wound up with it. I guess it was number 62, JoJo Bates, who covered it for the Lions. But if not for the Lions, the Bears would be first in almost every statistical category in this league. Back to kick. Oh, and there's a bad snap. And they're going to give away the 2 points on the bad snap to the punter, Lyle Atkinson. Jesse wisely, rather than trying to pick it up and give good field position, concedes the safety. And now this team that, as we said, has outscored their opposition by 83 points in the first half, finds themselves down 9-0.
Well, they really didn't want to give up a touchdown. He straight up a fumble or something in the end zone or a block pick, so he went ahead and just gave up the 2.
They have been in staggering out of the gate. There's the snap, fumbled, and we'll see if the Lions can regroup, trailing 9-0 here early in Conway. Back here in Conway.
We're back talking a little bit with the defensive unit for UCA. They said, listen, we're going to play fearless tonight, Bob. They said that they know that they shut down one of the best teams in the country last week in the defending national champs, Valdosta State, and they have UNA on the ropes right now, and they're going to ride the momentum as long as they can. You saw not only a great job by the defensive line getting UNA to a punt situation, but then rattling the punter and forcing the safety. UCA has the momentum, and they're going to ride it, like I said, as long as they can. Back up to you, Bob.
All right, Jim Cavall down on the sideline along with Jesse Branch. Bob Valvano here in Conway, where we're not 3 minutes into the game, and we're going to see the third kickoff already for... Well, actually, we're going to see the third kickoff, but this one they're going to get the ball back with a chance to add to that 9-0 lead on the free kick. Jesse, usually you see teams punt this out of the free kick situation.
Yeah, they sure do. This is a little different. Of course, that maybe they have more confidence in the place kicker than they do the punter. We'll see.
Come down at about the 30-yard line. Good coverage that time and a great hit. A great hit by number 30. Harold Ashford. And so they will take over with great field position at the 40 and try and extend what has been a dazzling lead for the home team. Now, Jesse, what do you tell if you're on the visiting sideline and you're Mark Hudspeth? What are you telling your team?
You got to settle. You got to settle down, guys. You just got to start playing football and settle down. Hey, the game's not even close to being over. We hadn't even got. It's 11 minutes and 56 seconds the first quarter. Just hey, hang in there. Don't give up the big play.
It'll be a short gain, pickup of about 2 on the completion by Brown. Brown has had an outstanding completion percentage, up around 70%, completes that to Norvell. Norvell has had he's the all-time career receptions leader, 192 catches going into tonight, and he's 6th in the Gulf South Conference history. So they certainly have a lot of options when it comes to throwing the ball to their wide receivers. 2nd down and 8 here. Good protection, wide open, Jesse, and that's going to be a first down.
That's a great in-breaking route to the wide receiver. Number 81. That's the man. That's the guy you got to get the ball to.
Well, there's a good throw to Aaron Ferruz. What numbers he's put up. 13 receptions we talked about earlier against Tennessee Martin. That broke his own record of 12. In the last 7 games, he's caught 52 balls for 844 yards and 6 touchdowns.
Oh, he's a great receiver. Doing a great job this year. There's no question about it.
Got good size, 6'6", ran a good route and leads to a first down at the 44. And UCA has had everything go their way in the first 4+ minutes.
It's 4.4 speed for also here. 4.4 with 6'6".
Nice throw out there to a wide open Ferruz again. Kept in bounds at about the 28-yard line. Boy, they are in a nice rhythm right now. Brown has not thrown an incompletion yet. And UCA is taking it right to the undefeated Lions.
That's another great story too. Is Nathan Brown. He's I think this is his first start tonight. Chris Reel had been starting the game, and he's in there doing a great job, making some great throws.
Tough situation for a redshirt freshman to make his debut, but they were impressed with the job he did last week. Almost led them to a comeback victory, and he's shown a lot of composure here tonight. Not much there on the ground. This team has been almost impossible to run against. Their rushing yardage in this season has been unbelievable. 70 yards a game on the ground defensively is all they've given up, and they have been dominant, especially in the first half when they have had their starters in the ball game. That's going to be a loss of 2.
I say Nathan Brown from Russellville, town just up the road where Arkansas Tech's located. So that's another little human interest story.
Is the defense we were talking about, 9th in the NCAA, just barely 70 yards a game. 1.9 yards per carry. That is absolutely outstanding. 2nd and 12. He's got some blockers and some room to go. Norvell down to the 10-yard line and another first down.
That was that funnel screen again we talked about last week in our game. We saw it. And against the all-out blitz, once again, that's a very dangerous, that's a great play against an all-out blitz, and that's what we have.
Actually, the reception was by Shea Jones, and that's another wideout. We talked before the game to Clint Conk, and he told us he thought Jones was going to have a big game for them, as well as Cameron Kennard. They are getting everybody involved in it right now. First, I believe it's not quite first and goal, just outside the 10. Not much there. A bunch of guys on the tackle. The last guy to hit him was Marcus Jackson.
tackle made by number 34.
So Courtney Wright in there on the stop. That's going to go for no gain. Well, you just can't run the football on this team.
No, they're in what they call a heavy set, an I formation with a power set over there.
No gain on the
They
play.
scored on it a while ago. That's one of the things they scored a touchdown. But I tell you what, North Alabama is hard to move that ball against running the football.
Well, I guess Coach Conk would say, wait a minute, we scored with a 9-yard running play before. What are you talking about? But as we said, the numbers are outstanding. They've given up less than 2 yards a carry on the ground all year. Second down and 10. Fade route. Does he have him, Jesse? I believe he does. Touchdown.
That's a 6'6". 6'6". Oh, that's a 6'6" receiver going against the short corner. We talked about that last week. We talked about it every week. Mismatch.
Jesse, looked to me like a beautifully thrown ball, but we got a penalty probably after the play. We'll see what it's about. But what are you telling your quarterback in a situation like that? Where's he throwing the football?
He's throwing it to the back corner of the end zone. He's putting it up there and letting the receiver go get it because he knows he can out-jump that defensive back normally. And he'll either get an interference call or he'll get a catch for a touchdown. In which case, he got the touchdown catch there.
Workmanlike conduct on the offense, number 81. Penalty report on the kickoff.
Well, Aaron Ferruz with good hands, but evidently bad lips. A little bit too much talking after the touchdown, but that's about the only thing that's gone wrong. Watch it again. That's what you just talked about, Jesse. Throws it up there. Ferruz has it in his sights. Defensive back does not see the football, and Ferruz adjusts to it, makes the catch, and it is now 15. Zip pending the extra point here for James Paul, who will try and tack one more on and put 16 points in the first quarter on this defense that's only given up 7 all year in the first half.
North Alabama's shell-shocked right now. They got to shake it off. If they don't, it's going to get nasty.
Yeah, shell-shocked is a good choice of words. 2 touchdowns and a safety led to a 16-0 lead. The last one, the reception by Aaron Ferruz. All good for the home team. We'll be back. Well, it's been all Bears so far from Conway. 16-0. That last possession culminated in a touchdown reception by Ferruz, who's off to Aaron Ferruz, off to a great start. 3 catches for 40 yards and a touchdown. And how about Jesse, as you take a look at the scoring drive, 7 plays, 60 yards. Nathan Brown, does he look like a redshirt freshman? He doesn't look like that to me. He's off to a dazzling start.
Well, you know, Coach Conk told me in the telephone interview that this guy has really come on strong. He's got great confidence in him and his ability to lead the team. And I see why, because he certainly made some very wise decisions here in this first quarter.
Garrett Morgan set for the kickoff. And again, they will see if they can get that guy free. We've talked all night about Anthony Merritt, but he has fumbled one and not gotten much out of the other one. Because of the penalty, they kick it off from their 20. And this is the other deep man who actually will put them in the best field position they've had all night. That's Leroy Hamilton. And for the first time, they will start with decent field position and a desperate need to regroup. Mark Hudspeth, the coach of the Lions, is a guy who was the National Coach of the Year by 3 different groups. In 2003, when his team was 13-1. They are 18-9 in Gulf South Conference games. But Jesse, this will be a tall order for him to regroup the troops here because they're off to a staggering start.
Yes, it is. This is very difficult to come back on the road, and you know you're just shocked right now. And I know it's very, very difficult. I certainly wouldn't give up, but I'm telling you, they're in a tough spot.
Saylor looks quickly and finds a man, and that's going to be a first down, I believe. Chip Long makes the catch and will be very close to the marker for a first down. This is where, Jesse, you really got to get inside your kids' heads, don't you? You've got to give them a little degree of confidence because this is not what they've expected. They have not given up a defensive touchdown until they've been ahead 35-0 in games so far this year. Now they find themselves trailing 16-0 by 3 scores. They've got to have something good happen to them before this first period's over.
They won't be able to say that anymore, Bob. I mean, it's over with. They're down 16-0 right now, and it hasn't looked good for them. But they did make a nice play right there. They got to keep their poise, get the ball to their outstanding players like we talked about, get it in their hands. Right now, Anthony Merritt, I'm sure, is shocked, but they'll come around. They'll get something going here in a minute. But I tell you what, we hadn't said enough about UCA's defense. They're an outstanding group also.
You take a look at Long and the numbers he's put up so far, over 12 yards a reception so far. And as Jesse pointed out, if not for UNA, Central Arkansas will be first in most of the statistical categories. There's a little swing pass that'll be good for about 8 yards. Now, there's no question when you get two teams that are as statistically even in a lot of ways as these two, turnovers makes a huge, huge difference. And we've seen two essential turnovers, the one that led to the touchdown and then the safety, Jesse.
That's exactly it. The turnover battle right now is that, and the big key players for UNA hasn't got on track yet. So we'll see what happens here. It's got a long time. This game's a long way from being over.
2nd and 2, pickup of 8 on that one. As Saylor checks in with the sideline, moves Packer to the right. Plenty of time still on the play clock. Give this to Packer, and another fumble. And there's no signal yet.
Boy,
still scrambling around for it. Still haven't gotten an official signal, and I believe they recovered it. And I don't know who's down at the bottom of that pile. We shall try and see. I believe it was number 75 for North Alabama. That's Andrew Reed. And that is a big, big play, boy, with finally a little bit of offensive momentum. Watch it again. Not hit, just on the exchange, Jesse.
Well, I mean, it's a nightmare for him right now, I'll tell you.
They had a 2nd and 2. That's a dangerous opportunity for a big play. Instead, they back up 3 yards and now faced with a 3rd and 5. He's got a man, but well short of the first down. Saylor finds Anthony Merritt. Boy, they have certainly kept the big play guy in check so far.
That's what they had to do, you know. And I mean, don't let them make the big play. And boy, I tell you, UCA is really playing well. You got to give them credit.
Well, short by 3. It'll bring up a 4th and 3. Watch it again. Good coverage. Well behind the sticks. And, they've got him surrounded. Good team defense there by the home squad, who will get the ball back again. On the punt here by Atkinson. Fair catch called at the 13-yard line. We got a flag on the play, though. Waiting for the signal here. Atkinson had been averaging about 38 yards per kick. Both these teams have very fine punters. We'll see what the call is here. Jesse, I know before the game you said how much more relaxing it is to be up here than on the sideline. It's plays like that that must remind you. A 16-0 lead. You're going to get the ball back and offside on the punt, and it gives up a first down. How frustrating must that be for Clay Conk?
And there's no reason for you to even be trying to block the kick, because you know it's down inside the 35-yard line. You know you don't get possession of it, and I mean I know it's just those hearts are racing out there. They're upset. I mean, I know Denzel Cox very well, the defensive coordinator. I know it's got to kill him because he's got this group playing great football. Now they got to go back on the field.
We'll see if they can step up. The great defenses step up when they need to. We'll see if they can do it again. Oh, I would say, how's that for an answer? Number 27, Dathan Johnson. What a hit. And that was Merritt, who they have more than kept in check. Watch this again, Jess. How's that for out of your football camp of tackling?
And that's listed a second-team cornerback who did that. So he's got them all playing well.
They have really kept Merritt in check so far. Pickup of 2. 2nd and 8 now at the 35. Saylor with a little toss. They are putting it in his hands. There's the first time we've seen a little bit of Merritt.
Number 21.
I talked to Coach Conk before the game, and I said, what makes this guy so difficult to defend? He said, take your pick. He's quick. He's got great vision. He anticipates well. He sees the field, and it's going to be enough, I think, for a first down.
Well, you don't score touchdowns every way you can score them without being an outstanding athlete. And average 196 yards a game total offense. That's amazing.
Down about the 26-yard line. This would be huge, I think, Jesse, for the Lions, if they're able to get a score when it looked like they were about to punt the ball away. It's like found money if they can convert here. Four on the play clock. Again, a little toss. That one to Gregory Clark. He picks up about 3. He's only rushed the ball, as you see there, 14 times all year. So it's not exactly one of the go-to guys, but right now they need some answers from somewhere. We'll see if they can get Mr. Merritt involved again. You talked in the pregame about their game plan was to put the ball in his hands and put it in his hands and put it in his hands.
Yes, and so far Merritt's got it, but Jason Fountain, number 4, is the guy that they also want to get the ball in his hands, and we'll see when they're going to come to him.
He's in the middle of the field. They're looking for him right now, and in and out of his hands. Well, Jesse, you said that was the other guy they had to get involved. They had Fountain right in the center of the field, the ball off his hands, incomplete.
Boy, it looked like that quarterback should have run then. He had the whole field open in front of him, didn't he?
He did have a lot of room to work there. Jerron Fountain, the 5'9" senior from Winter Haven, Florida. And this guy would feel a lot better if his team could punch one in here before the end of the first quarter.
That was a stressful looking coach right there, singing those plays.
That's a guy who hasn't had a whole lot go the way he's wanted so far. Cutsmith trying to rally the troops. 3rd and 7. Got a man, but again, will it be enough? I think it is. Breaks the tackle, and there's Merritt. They put it in his hands, and that's what you do. You let players make plays. He made one there.
Yeah, only thing that's happened, if they just held on to the football and hadn't fumbled, this wouldn't be right here right now. That's the thing that scares you with as much time as left in the first quarter. You got an eternity left.
Yeah, but you make the great point. I talked so much at the top about North Alabama's defense. This Central Arkansas bunch has been outstanding as well this year. They have been only giving up 12.2 points per game this year, and that's the bottom line.
They're number 2 in the league in defense. They're not chopped liver. They're pretty good.
Actually have a better turnover ratio than UNA does, +7 in that regard. First and 10 for Sailor, who looks and throws. That's going to be inside the 5. Down to number 82, Covington Wright, who makes the catch. And it's just amazing how one offside play shifted the whole momentum of this quarter.
I was just sitting here thinking, oh, if they just had that play over just one time. Don't jump off sides on that side.
And as you said, they weren't really trying to get a block. It's a easily preventable penalty. But now the Lions are trying to take advantage of the good fortune that's come their way. It is a 2nd down and 2 from the 5. Sailor looks and throws and has a man wide open, and they're in the end zone. That's Chip Long, who makes the reception, and Sailor now has got his bunch on the board. And these two teams that have given up a combined 20 points per game so far in the first quarter have given up 22.
That's amazing. It's amazing. You just don't keep giving those guys that many chances, though. That's where the problem is.
Beautiful throw right on the money, and North Alabama will cut it to 16-7 with the point after there. It is good. And as you see, Mark Hudspeth looks like a guy who just got his tax return check back. He is thrilled about that. That was they were an offside penalty away from being down 16-0 with UCA having the football back. And but to their credit, they took advantage of it.
They sure did. They sure did. You got to give them credit. And I think they just kept doing what they're supposed to do, is get that ball in the hands of those guys that can make plays. And of course, the quarterback, I mean, he absolutely did an unbelievable job there as well. Benny Sailor, he's got a lot of pressure on him. He wants to look good. He was formerly here at UCA, and obviously he wants to do something special.
Take a look at the scoring drive. 11 plays, 59 yards, and the two quarterbacks are off to sizzling starts. They have combined for 14 of 16 passes. Sailor's 7 of 9, and his counterpart, Nathan Brown, has yet to throw an incompletion. 7 of 7. And the guy who just made that extra point is a interesting story. Yuta Fukuda is a young man who is a student from Japan. Number 88 for North Alabama. There are about 160 Japanese students at UNA, and he played soccer in his native country and got hooked on American football. I'm sure you're happy about that, Coach. And just got himself a football and literally went out and practiced for a couple of years, got the attention of the coaching staff, and came in and hit 4 field goals in their opener and was voted the Gulf South Conference Special Teams Player of the Week. And that is a terrific story for Fukuda, who does not do the kicking off, though. Bo Tanner, they think, has a little bit, or what the coaches refer to as a directional leg.
Right.
They told me. So
didn't that young man go buy his own football and start
yes, he
practicing?
went and bought a football. He just went out on his own. It's a great story. And now kicking in the Gulf South Conference. Back deep for Central Arkansas and taking it at about the 10 and buried. Oh no, he sneaks away, but then goes down. Is number 85. And that was a return to about, that's Cameron Kennard, by the way, at about the 26-yard line. So we'll see what kind of an answer UCA has. But Jesse, I don't think there's any question that the momentum, the wind came out of the sails a little bit. That was an enormous score for the Lions.
No, big turnaround right now. I mean, you know, you're only down 9 points and a lot of time left in this football game. I mean, it's very critical here that UCA does something now offensively, at least make a first down or two.
Well, they've had the hot hand in the quarterback round. Another short pass, completes it out to Norvell. He said after a pickup of about 3.
There's some hitting going on out there now.
They are hitting on both sides. And we would expect nothing less from teams that are 1 and 2 in almost every statistical category in this conference. UNA is ranked 14th in the country, but there are some publications that have them as high as 4th. And Central Arkansas, of course, is off to a great start as well. But they have a tough bit of scheduling. They played number 5 Valdosta last week, number 14 North Alabama today, Harding next week, who was nationally ranked, and then number 24 Delta State.
Boy,
that'll put you in the broadcast booth, Jesse.
Yeah, if you can be at the top of some statistics with that schedule, you got to be pretty good.
Toss back and pick up to about the 30-yard line. That was number 9 for UCA, Willie Hobson. We'll talk about him in a bit, but take a look at the AFCA top 25. These are the teams that are ranked from the Gulf South. Valdosta State at 4-1, Arkansas Tech and North Alabama both unbeaten, and then Delta State, of course, at 3-2. But there are no off nights in this league. You've got to bring it every night because nobody is what they would call a pushover. And we are seeing that in the early part of this Gulf South season. 3rd and 6 now from the 30. Brown back, has time, completes one to number 3, Shea Jones. He's going to have the first down and more out to about the 44-yard line. So a big first down to answer after the touchdown from the Lions. Just a minute ago, you saw Hobson carry the football. And Jesse, that's a great story. Willie Hobson was a 1,000-yard gainer in the year 2003. Last year, Kentrell Rogers was. And this year, Hobson has been nicked up a little bit, but now he's back, and it gives them 2,000-yard rushers on the roster. You got the wideouts that they've got. This is an offense with a lot of weapons.
Yeah, that is a big key to have 2 great running backs like that in the backfield, be able to substitute them back and forth, and that's what they're doing right now.
So the nice run after the catch by Jones for the first down. The fake under pressure, gets it away, though, before he's hit, and it's going to be a good-sized gain. Time it's to number 48, Darren Shaw, who makes the reception. And now Central Arkansas continues to just roll offensively. Watch it again. Just gets it away under great pressure from number 34, Courtney Wright.
That was a great job, that quarterback, with a full blitz coming right in his face. And he was able to go to the wide open receiver to get the big first down.
I believe it is.
Well, I predetermined to call it a first down.
I thought there was a measurement. I thought that's what they were doing. Jesse, with all the technology today, this is one thing that is, do you really still need the sticks and the chains? There's got to be lasers or some way, but I think that would be the tradition of the game. We'd all miss seeing those guys run in the width of the field to get the measurement.
Yeah, you'd think there'd be a better way to do it.
But
there's some things we want to keep the same.
I think you're right. Of course, people start emailing me, hey, we don't want it. I agree with you.
Hey, we want to see mud out there, you know, see dirt. The uniforms are too clean.
Well, they certainly saw for the home team what they wanted to see, and that is a first down, now down at the 46-yard line. And this is a team that certainly spreads the ball around. They've had 16 different receivers or running backs catch the football this year, and you're seeing it already this year. They have a lot of offensive weapons.
I never had a team that had 16 receivers on it.
Not to mention effective ones. These guys have a lot of different weapons to throw at you. 1st and 10 from the 46. A lot of room. It's going to be close to another first down. Good pickup by Kentrell Rogers. If you're just joining us, he started the scoring with a 9-yard touchdown run following a fumble off the opening kickoff. Play very similar to this, Jesse, actually.
Yeah. There's some excellent blocking up front. We've got to mention those guys. I mean, they're doing an excellent job up front. David Farr, Jeremy Ford, Justin Jones, Austin Cade. Those guys are doing a great job up front, run blocking against a great defense.
Always the second and one's got to be a coach's dream. And we'll see how conservative they are. Same thing, really, to the right side. Not much this time, though. Hobson. Stop for basically no gain. Take a look at these numbers, though. The rushing has been, as we've said, just terrific so far for Central Arkansas, and against a team that hasn't given up very much on the ground.
It's amazing. You know, they're just when you look at UNA's all their stats. I mean, it's their total defense, 198 yards a game is all they're giving up. And
taking a look at a guy who got, I didn't think they were going to measure. I was waiting for that, but now it looks like they may. It appeared when he was tackled that he didn't make it, but now by the spot of that ball, it's going to be closer than I thought it was. We'll see what the chains show us.
The change crew's going to need a break here.
Back to back. Fortunately, it's not 96 degrees like it was for last week's telecast. Very comfortable night here today in Conway as we get a look at the measurement that is literally inches short. This is a team that had to replace a terrific quarterback in Zach Clark, the transfer from Arkansas, who graduated with all sorts of records. And they are just continuing to find play at the quarterback position, certainly tonight with Nathan Brown, this redshirt freshman, who is now 10 for 10 and looking very composed.
Yes, Coach Conk has always been a great offensive coach. He's got a great offensive mind, throws that football around. Of course, he's got another guy up in the box now named Todd Cooley, who's a first-year coach, offensive coordinator, and doing an outstanding job also. So they got some people that have been around the football league for a while.
Clint Conk, of course, the offensive coordinator at Louisiana Tech, where one of his prized pupils was Tim Rattay, the quarterback for the San Francisco 49ers. And that will be the end of what has been a action-packed first quarter. 16-7 and lots of offense for the home team. 118 yards of offense in the first quarter. And that has gotten them off to a dazzling start, but there's still a lot of football left to be played between two outstanding football teams. Back here in Conway, where I think these two teams are so good that, Jesse, it is safe to say no result today would be a shock. But I think it is a bit surprising that we've had 23 points scored against, I guess maybe it's an indication that as great as these defenses are, there's some pretty good offensive players out there as well.
Well, there's no question there's good offensive players. And really, UCA's only rushed for 16 yards in this ball game. I mean, it's
3rd and inches, and they're going for a home run here. Oh, that's going to be interference, I think. Whoa, Coach.
Well, it looked pretty close, you know. Being an old secondary coach, I say, no.
What was I thinking about? I forgot who was sitting next to me.
But you know, it was a heck of a play against a 6'6" receiver.
Well, that was gambling rolling. Oh man, that's tough, Jesse. Watching the replay, look at it again. Yikes. Pretty courageous call, though, on 3rd inches. I guess they figured it was 4-down situation. They could always try and slam it across here, and that's what they'll do. 4th and inches for Central Arkansas. And Nathan Brown literally had to get maybe 2 inches, and it looks certainly like he has it. They have gone for it. They had gone for it 9 times on 4th down previously this year, making it 4, so that makes 5 out of 10, and Clint Conk's bunch will keep the drive alive. 1st and 10 at the 35. Did you like that call, Coach?
Both those calls would have scared me to death. 4th and inches, you throw for a touchdown, or you try for a touchdown, and then quarterback sneak. You know, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, North Alabama was perfect on going for it on 4th down, though. So the other side of the ball.
Anyway, actually, both teams have had a good percentage going for it on 4th down. UNA is 4 of 5. 1st and 10, fakes the pass, and the quick handoff. Good shoestring tackle, though, Nice play
Rogers on the carry.
on the stop there by number 44, Dusty Shack, who really prevented what could have been a big gain.
Tackle made by number 8, Santana Suggs.
Let's take a look at it again.
Gain of 2 yards. The Lions
Dusty Shack
33,
made the call.
second and
Contrary
8.
to what the public address announcer said in the background. Just to be sure I was right. Second down and 9 here for the Bears. Brown has had just one incompletion. That one, they went for the home run on the 3rd and short. Under a little pressure here, looks long and throws it away. Good defense there. They got good pressure on him that time.
The
and good
pass
coverage
from Nathan
against
Brown
Norvell.
intended for Michael Norvell is incomplete. Number 20.
Still pretty impressive numbers for a guy who's a redshirt freshman.
It'll be 3rd and 8
playing
for
against
the
a team
Bears
that has
at the Lions.
not only led the conference defensively, but is one of the leaders in the country. They have only given up this UNA defense. I keep throwing numbers at you, but they're just astounding because they've only given up 8.5 points a game.
Those last 2 plays, the only 2 incompletions he's had tonight, right?
Yes, that's it. He was 10 for 10 to start. Take a look. There you go. 4th in the country in points allowed per game. So this is a top-flight defense, and we'll see what they can do here in 3rd and long. He's going to have to run. Good coverage that time. Great coverage, actually. Oh, that's a pretty good route, I would think, by number 81, Farouz. That's the experience you talk about. I think he's right at the marker, Jesse. You got to like when your receivers have the presence of mind. Take a look at it again. He has good coverage downfield because he's got plenty of time. He can't find anyone.
That was a great play. That was a great play by Brown.
Brown had the presence of mind to roll away from the trouble. Farouz had the presence of mind to come back and help his quarterback right at the sticks. And
On the offense, not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Third down.
did not see the flag, though, so all that is for naught.
All of it for naught. We didn't see the flag, but I guess we were too impressed with that throw and catch on the scramble.
38-yard line,
They had the
3rd
other
and 13.
What would have been, I believe, it was very close to the first down, but I believe he had it. And now it turns it into a 3rd and 13. And both these teams are very dangerous when they get you in these 3rd and longs. UNA has only given up 19% coming into the game tonight on 3rd down conversions. And they both are very good at takeaways. So this is one you've got to be careful with the 16-7 lead. We'll see how aggressive they are. It's a completion.
The pass from Nathan Brown.
Ferris, but it's going to be way short of the first down. Back to what was the original line of scrimmage, basically. So it'll be 4th and 10 from the 34. And again, we've got 2 fine punters here, one would assume.
Ball is spotted at the 34-yard line of the line.
So they're going to try and
4th down and 9.
pin them deep with a punt here, Jesse, won't they?
Well, I think he's going to punt. I just started to say, it's 34-yard line. They may go for it,
Well, he's going to try a 51-yard field goal. The ball will be spotted at the 41. This is going to be a long try, and they're going to have to call timeout because they were going to get a delay of game penalty, which clearly would have put them out of range. James Paul, the 6'2 junior, is going to be loaded up here. And I will say this, that Clint Conk told me in our pregame meeting, he said, I believe that the special teams are going to play a part of it. We are capable of striking from long distance. He's got a lot of confidence in his place kicker, and so we'll see if he's able to get it there from some 51 yards away. Not much wind working here.
Well, there's no wind. Of course, we don't have flags on the goalpost, so we can't tell, and I can't see any flag. I can't see the U.S. flag. I don't know where it's located. Obviously, we can't tell if the wind is blowing. I see it. It's no blow. It's no wind at all.
No wind at all. Take a look at
I
this.
can't see the flag. It's hanging limp.
Perfect symmetry in this league. 3 teams 3-0, 3-2-1, 3-1-2, 3-0-3, and you see Central Arkansas and North Alabama are off to great starts. North Alabama, one of only 2 undefeateds in the league and overall, and Central Arkansas very close. They were 12-7 losers last week for their first conference loss, and driving at the end of the game just came up a bit short. It's going to be a little bit short. He got a lot of that, though, Jesse. A little bit short and a little bit right. Aggressive, because certainly could have pinned them with a punt, but now they get pretty good field position, and we'll see what the Lions can do with it when we come back. 16-7, Central Arkansas.
Come on,
16-7. Bears over the Lions. A good start for the home team, but UNA showing some fire coming back. Take a look around the Gulf South Conference. Big weekend of games, including number 5 Valdosta State at Delta State, which is, of all of those good games, I think clearly the marquee matchup. Two teams ranked in the top 25. First and 10 now off that missed field goal at the 35 for North Alabama, who's trying to claw their way back in this one. They were down 16-0 early before answering with a Chip Long touchdown reception. And they look over the middle here, and they throw it up, and it's picked off. Saylor, an ill-advised pass, picked off by Jasper Johnson. Jesse, that looked like he threw that into at least double and maybe triple coverage there.
Well, he was trying to force the ball to Jerron Fountain, which is one of the guys that's got to make the plays. And I think he just was determined who he was going to before he made a read, and consequently the ball gets picked off.
We talked at the top, these two teams are very good, or come into the game very good in turnover differential. +6 for North Alabama and +7 for Central Arkansas, but that is now 2 in the negative column, and they could have been worse. There were a couple of fumbles that they recovered, UNA. They could have been even further than -2 so far in the turnover department, but we'll see what the Bears can do. First and 10 now from their 46. That's number 5, Ryle, Chris Reel, excuse me, the senior quarterback who has shared the time with Nathan Brown. It's a little bit nicked up, according to Coach Hancock, who said that, but said that to me before the game in our meeting. And Nathan Brown came out flying, but he did say to me they're both going to play, and brought him in, carries it, and gets a pickup of 4.
He likes for this young man to run the football. He feels like he's a pretty good runner, and that's what he did on that first play, run a quarterback draw.
No snap to Ryle, and he wisely covers it, but negates the gain he had just moments ago. He gained 4. That bad snap loses 5. So it's going to be 3rd down and 11. That's real here. Jesse, that's a good decision. You can't take a chance back there, obviously. As much as I said, Real gained 4 yards previous, gives it back +1, and it'll be 3rd and 11. What do you think Coach Cox's thinking was there with the lead to make the quarterback change here?
Well, I'm not real sure, because I just think he wants to play both of them. He thinks that both of them are very important. He'll need them before the year's out. This young man has a great arm. He's got an extremely strong arm. He can throw the ball on
Oh, and a man wide open, and it's off the receiver's hands and picked off by number 27, Farris, who's still on his feet. He's got some more room to run, and now finally brought down at the 27-yard line. Great hustle coming back by Ferruz, who ran him down. You see the disappointment here, Jesse. He was under pressure, had to throw it on the run, but really had a man wide open.
Yeah, that's the thing that just kills him. You know, and I think that's the reason he probably hadn't been playing. You know, he started the other guy. He did throw that dangerously downfield, you know, trying to make something happen, and that can happen.
If you watch the end of that play, Ferruz did a great job coming from out of the picture to run the ball carrier down and prevent even more damage. Great hustle by Ferruz, who was the intended receiver on the play. So now back-to-back turnovers. Gives the ball back to the Lions at the 28, 1st and 10. The shovel pass to Fountain, not much there. You told me something interesting that Coach Hudspeth said to you in the pregame about these two guys, about Fountain and Merritt.
Well, that's only the 2nd time he's touched the ball, and I'm sure that, you know, they tried to get it to him the last time when he threw the interception, but that's his 2nd touch. He made 18 the first time he touched it. You know, and he makes 3 or 4 that time, so.
They call it 3, so it'll be 2nd and 7. Saylor looking for the home run here, and great coverage in the back. Terrific job in the secondary there. I think it was Ahmad Brown on the coverage there. Take a look at this again, as there's pretty good coverage. Actually, it was Gerald Norman back in there who broke that play up. A fine defensive play. 3rd and 7 now. Good coverage downfield, though. Oh, had a man open there and threw it behind him. Had Merritt, threw it behind him, and it's incomplete. Let's go down to the field where Jim Cavall kicks in. Jim?
Bob, I had a chance to get in the huddles of both the University of North Alabama and the University of Central Arkansas. On the UNA side, Vinny Saylor said it best. It's early, guys. There's still 10 minutes left in the game. Well, at the time, it was 12 minutes, but he knew they would get the ball back. They're only down by what seems to be a score and maybe a field goal, and they're very confident they can come back. On the UCA side, they said that, hey, this is unfamiliar territory for UNA. They've never been scored on this early in the ball game. They've never had to come from behind this season in this fashion. We have the home crowd on our side, and we have the momentum on our side. One score is not going to ruin the game. Bob?
Yuta Fukuda belts one through there to cut the margin to 16-10. The young man from Japan, who we talked about earlier, played soccer in his native country, came here, fell in love with football, bought a football, went out and practiced, and turned himself into a very useful kicker, former Special Teams Player of the Week in the Gulf South Conference, and just like that, he is down to a 16-10 margin. Big exchange of turnovers there actually wound up helping the Lions. Certainly don't want to count on that, Jesse.
Oh, it's unbelievable. It's amazing. These guys, both of them, know that the turnovers are so critical, and they can't get those guys to hang on to that football. You know, don't turn it over. And I mean, I know that how hard that they coached that this week, because that's the key to both of them.
You talk about the man you're looking at there, Clint Conk, the head coach for the University of Central Arkansas. He got great news today, found out that he was a former first-team AP All-American as a defensive back at Nicholls State, going to be inducted into their Athletic Hall of Fame.
That's a great honor. I know, that's a great honor. I know it means a tremendous deal to Clint, and he's a very proud man, and I'm happy for him. That's a good deal.
He was the coach who led this team to their first ever NCAA playoff game in 2001. Both these schools, of course, have rich traditions. Central Arkansas won 3 NAIA national championships in 84, 85, and 91. And, of course, UNA won 3 in a row in the 90s, 93 through 95. So there was great football history on both sides. We'll see what kind of an answer they have. Their 16-point lead is down to 6. Oh, and another good hit. We've seen some great hits on special teams, Jess. Number 25 in there with the terrific hit for North Alabama, Carlos Foster, the junior from Hattiesburg, Mississippi.
I mean, there is some hitting going on. There's no question about it. Got to mention a couple of those NAIA national championships. A good friend of mine, Harold Horton, was the head coach at that time at UCA, I believe, and I know he's very proud of those championships. He's a great football coach.
Well, we'll take a look and see what kind of an answer. They got exactly what Clint Conk said they needed. He said they needed a fast start, and they got one here in Conway. This is the number 14 ranked North Alabama Lions taking on the Central Arkansas Bears. Bob Balbano along with Jesse Branch and Jim Cavall down on the sideline. And we'll see, as we said, what was once a 16-point lead, and now there's a fumble. And again, the dreaded turnover. We're waiting for a signal. And it is a turnover, and just like that, what at one time was a 16-point lead for the Bears is now going to be about 20 yards away from finding themselves on the short end. How fast things turn around.
There's something down there in that end of the field. There's a hex down there on that ball. It doesn't want to stay in down there at the end of the field.
Good hit.
Oh, my.
Number 93 in on the stop to make the terrific play. Kentrell Tanner got a helmet right on the football, knocked it loose, a turnover, and just like that, North Alabama now, amazingly, has a chance after trailing by 16. Take the lead. We'll see what Vinny Saylor has in store for the Bears defense. Looks left, has a man. That's Fountain, and he springs loose. That's one of the big play guys we talked about. Anthony Merritt is one, Jerron Fountain is the other, and he turned what could have easily been a short gain into what's going to be a first down. It's going to be 1st and goal now on the nice run after the catch by Fountain. 20 receptions, almost 12 yards per catch, and 4 touchdowns so far on the season. And they're inside the 10, 1st and goal.
Ball was spotted at the 10-yard line.
I can't believe he took him off the field.
Taylor gives to Parker, and great defensive penetration that time. Terrific hit. Good stop by Kelvin Horn, the linebacker. Turns it into a loss. Watch it again, Jesse. Trying to get a block, and really just great penetration they had. Trying to pull a couple of linemen out here, not able to get out in front of Packer. And
that's one of UCA's transfer players they got in this year. Kelvin Horn, outstanding play right there.
Turns it into a loss of 5, 2nd and 15 now. In motion goes Messing. Taylor, able to find anybody and going to go down. That was as much what you'd call a coverage sack as anything else, wouldn't you, Jesse? He had time, but nowhere to throw it.
Oh, he sure did have time, but everybody was covered on the wide side of the field. He comes back to the backside and had great containment over here. Not sure who this was, but it was a great hit on the quarterback.
Ryan Taylor comes in.
Oh, great hit.
Ryan Taylor. Listen to this. That's the sound of a sack. Ryan Taylor who is called by his coach the emotional leader of this defense. He calls Corey Cangelosi the inspirational leader and Ryan Taylor the emotional leader for the Bears. He certainly made an emotional play there. Turns it into a 3rd and 17. Taylor throws over the middle. Had a man, had Fountain, but tough ball to catch. Ball's incomplete.
That was a great defend by UCA. They rushed only 3 people and had 8 back in coverage. That quarterback had to stick something in a very small spot. He actually threw it a little bit too hard for the receiver to have a chance to catch it.
Well, again, Utah Fukuda checks in. I imagine our ratings tonight are off the charts in Japan, I'm going to guess. This is a terrific story we talked about. The young man looking to get his 2nd field goal of the night, and that one is right down Broadway. It is good to cut the margin to 16-13. Still, you got to feel pretty good if you're the Bears defense that could have easily been a turnover that led to finding yourself on the short end. Instead, they still have a 3-point lead. That's where we'll be when we come back. 16-13. Bears on top. 16-13, Central Arkansas over number 14 ranked North Alabama, unbeaten coming into this game, but UNA is making it close. They were trailing 16-0. If you're just joining us, things got off to a rocky start for the visitors, but they've been clawing their way back. And Jesse, story of the game is turnovers right now.
Oh, it sure is. I tell you what, like I said, there's something that, going on down there on the end of the field where the ball just keeps popping out of there. We'll see what happens now. I think that the players are so nervous. You got to give something to hard hitting too. I mean, they're really hitting each other.
Well, they haven't gotten hurt in either team in the return game so far, other than hurting themselves by fumbling the football. That ball was run back by Cameron Kennard. Watch Nathan Brown take his team out of the field. Ball's at the 28-yard line. 1st and 10 now. Quick pass is complete. It's going to be a good gain on the near side.
The pass from Nathan Brown is complete.
Brown to Michael Norvell. We've already talked about what a terrific career Norvell's had. He's the all-time career receptions leader. And he is 6th in the Gulf South Conference history, and moving up, that'll be good for about 9 yards. Kind of impressed. What do you see about Nathan Brown that you like, Coach?
I tell you what, he's taking what they give him right now, and he's not trying to make the big play. He's just trying to make sure he holds on that, has the football when the play's over with, and that's very critical. I mean, he's also a big, strong young man. He doesn't have probably as strong arm as the other quarterback, but he's making things happen. And very impressed with everything he's done so far. 11 out of 13, and actually the 2 passes that were they were right in a row. One of them was just a little bit overthrow, and the other one is a throwaway. So he's very accurate.
Nathan Brown, the redshirt freshman from Russellville, Arkansas, went to Russellville High School. 6'1", 205, and that play was actually closer to 10 yards than it was 9 as they came out for a measurement. see it's going to be just a bit short. Actually, I'm surprised they measured that. That was quite a bit short, actually.
Yeah, no kidding.
Second down and 1 on the 9-yard pickup.
They wanted to get that chain through a workout.
Nice cool night for them to do it. It started in the high 60s. It's cooled off a bit here, but a clear night, a perfect night for football in Conway, and we've got a good one. Between two outstanding teams, 16-13. Bears on top at a 2nd and 1 right now. Central Arkansas, and right up the middle and a big hole and a big gain.
That's actually an option play. The quarterback was actually reading the defensive end to see if he's going to come and tackle the draw. You know, it's actually like a draw play. He didn't feel, so he gives it off. Away it goes. Good play.
Watch it again. You see the tail end of it. Sure enough, you saw the read by Brown. He's looking at the end. He makes the right read, gives it to Rogers, and Kentrell Rogers turns it into a big gain and a first down now at the 48-yard line. Rogers is tied for second in career scoring with 37 touchdowns. Tied with the former NAIA All-American Hosea Knowlton, and we'll see what they can do here on 1st and 10. Get about 3, and the ball is on the ground yet again.
Rogers on the carry. There was a fumble.
You never rely on the players because they're both pointing each way, so that isn't going to help us very much. I think got 2 jerseys on each side. Campbell's pointing one way.
Yeah.
And I believe it is going to be Campbell who's right for the North Alabama Lion defense. They come up with yet another turnover.
It's whichever one of those guys, the striped shirts is the one that points the direction. That's the one that counts, isn't it?
And that's the one that says we will be changing direction here, where another turnover. And boy, Clint Conk's got to be wondering, when is this going to stop? See the toss back to number 28, Rogers. Hit high and low. The ball comes loose. Oh, boy, that was very close. You don't get to see the end of that play. Watch it come loose. And you see 2 players dive simultaneously for it, and that's when the scrum begins and winds up one of the white jerseys. 1st and 10 now for Saylor. He's got Fountain. He's got a lot of room if he can turn this corner. Covered a lot of ground. Pick up about 8 yards, but boy, is he a tough guy to run down.
Coach. He just ran 45 yards.
He covered a lot of real estate to turn it into an 8-yard gain, but boy, that could have been no gain. Watch this on the replay. Doesn't look like there's much there, but a little juke to the outside, breaks a tackle there, and the next thing you know, it's an 8-yard gain. Merritt now, as we come back, catches the short pass, turns it into a first down, and well, you just get a sense when teams are in a rhythm offensively, and they look a lot more comfortable offensively, Coach, don't they?
Oh man, I'm telling you what now, but when you get those guys the ball out there in the open field, they're scary. I can see why he said I'm going to get it in their hands at least 10 times apiece. Those number 4 and number 21.
Ron Fountain and Anthony Merritt, who each handled the ball in the last 2 plays. Saylor gives this time to Packer, and he breaks the tackle and turns it into a good game. Good solid hit at the end there. Hit by Jasper Johnson, who really hammered him, but not before he picked up 6.
34, 2nd and 6. Your attention, please, will all visitors into the 3.0 club halftime ceremony.
I talked at the top about UNA's great defense, but boy, they've had some offensive firepower, including this quarterback, Vinny Saylor, who twice has been the Gulf South Conference Player of the Week and once was the National Player of the Week. Not much here this time, straight ahead.
Brought a zone blitz at that time. They brought a linebacker inside out of a 3-man front. And he actually ran right in and filled the hole. Good play by UCA.
Bring up a 3rd and about 2. Saylor, of course, started his career at UCA. You watch it again. Packer goes right up the middle, and a good hit to prevent the first down. Take a look at the difference in total yards. Central Arkansas, 155 to 58, but turnovers are the bugaboo right now, and they're on the cusp of getting hurt by another one. 3rd down and 1. Saylor. How about that pass, Coach?
Shovel pass downfield.
That wasn't a design shovel pass, though. He was looking up at the top for the home run. They had good coverage in the back. Not that for an improvised play. And they turn it into a first down. Watch this. Coach, he's looking long. You can see he's looking for all the marbles, and then says, that'll work. A little backhand jobber to number 83. Good for a first down. Chip Long. And that's a pickup of about 5. First and 10 now at the 27. Players make plays. That was a bit of improvisation by UCA. Looks right as the man Merritt breaks the tackle. About
the pass from Benny Saylor
18-yard line
is complete to number 21.
You can hear all the air sucking out of the end zone. The coach is on the sideline every time that guy touches the ball. I mean, it looks like he could go all the way anytime.
Watch this little change of direction here, and that turns what could have been no gain into almost a first down. Just has great vision. We said before the game, Clint Cox said that, coach for UCA. He said he's so hard because he anticipates so quickly, and then he's blessed with great speed. You put those two together, tough to bring down in the open field. 2nd and 1. Packer changes direction, not much there.
Number 6, Eric Packer.
Eric Packer's a 5'9" sophomore from Pine Hill, Alabama. He's getting a lot of use here to kind of counterbalance the 1-2 punch of Fountain and Merritt. DeMarcus Blunt is their primary running back, who is out with a high ankle sprain. Didn't play last week. They thought he might come back today, but not able to do it.
For the Lions in the Bears 17.
So a big 3rd and 1 in Central Arkansas, and that man hoping their defense can come up big. Surprise there. It was called 3rd and 1, but it was 3rd and more like 6 or 7 inches, and that is a quarterback keeper for Saylor. That
number 17
should get him the first down.
On the quarterback.
The clock is becoming a factor here right now. You know, they got the ball down inside the 20-yard line. 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go, so they got to start clock management now.
Well, that would be, I would think, a bit demoralizing for Central Arkansas in this way. Jesse, they're up 16-0. You think at least maybe we get to the locker room with a lead. I mean, they said they wanted to make it a 4-quarter game. They're doing that, but this isn't the way it was scripted. Now a big lead, and now I'm trying to be hang on before they go in for the halftime break.
Well, even if they score here, it could still be a 4-quarter game, but they didn't know the way you'd want it at the end. That's for sure. This happened.
13 unanswered points here for the Lions after trailing 16-0. Saylor under pressure. Has a man, and we're waiting for a signal. Yes, it's a catch, and there's that man again, Jerron Fountain.
The pass from Benny Saylor is complete to number 4, Jerron.
That was a tough pass to catch, too. That ball was drilled in there. The only place it could go was in his hands or incomplete. He made a great catch. Well, he's not very big. Neither one of these guys are very big, are they? They're small.
Fountain, we mentioned, is 5'9", 160. Anthony Merritt is 6 feet, 189. Merritt from Box Springs, Georgia. 2nd and a short one, actually, here. Ball's on the 7-yard line. Merritt down here to the right. Fountain's in the slot to the left. Looks like they're calling it audible. That's Merritt in motion now. And he looks for him, and he's got him. Touchdown.
Little out and up move. You know, they overplayed the flat on him. He turns it up to score. The guy's got unbelievable leaping ability.
He's only 6 feet tall, so but watch this again, what Coach is talking about here. They bite on the out. He goes up. The ball goes up, and the points go up on the scoreboard. Touchdown. He's well executed.
The former defensive back also, you know, he's playing, he's almost like a defensive back making an interception there.
Remarkable story. He played on the other side of the football his first 2 years. Kuda's got the point after, and just like that, what was a 16-0 Bear lead now is a 20-16 lead for North Alabama. 20 unanswered points, but still time for the Bears to answer before the intermission. We'll be back.
We're back here at UCA as the North Alabama Lions get the lead back 20-16 over the Bears. Just was over on the sideline on the UNA side, and the defense was getting a speech from Donald Tharp, the player we talked about before, who's the cowbell guy that Coach Hudspeth talked about. The guys feed off him, and he told his teammates that they will not stop on defense. And that means getting the ball back into the offense's hands so they can come back and win this game, and that's just what they did, forcing the fumble, getting the ball back to Vinny Saylor, and Anthony Merritt did the rest with the TD catch 2016, Bob, UNA back on top.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. Tharp's a great story. Missed almost all of last season with concussions and related injuries, and Mark Hutzman told me he's one of the reasons their defense has been so good this year. That was a pretty nifty bit of running to turn what seemed to be nothing into something. And Jesse, I've warned you before we started, I will never second guess anybody. But having said that, they've had great coverage on kicks all night. Again, why go with a little squib right now? That's pretty good field position, is it not, with a minute 42 to go here?
I really don't think he meant to do that. I really think he was trying to kick it away. I really do. I think he just missed the ball. I'd have to see it again on video. But
like my first drive on the first tee, that one I always hit, that little topper.
Yeah,
is that what it was?
Yeah, I had one of those today.
Well, it winds up being pretty good field position for the Bears, who try and regroup. What was a 16-point lead is now a 4-point deficit. Rolls left and throws and has him in. A beautifully thrown ball.
The pass from Nathan Brown is complete.
Nathan Brown back behind center, and he puts it right on the money. Number 81, Aaron Farouz. You know what? When the other guy is going to their go-to guy, you answer with your go-to guy, and Farouz gets a first down.
I'm shocked that guy caught another pass, aren't you? What a player.
The guy who has the single-game record for receptions in a game. He broke his own record of 12 when he caught 13 earlier this year in a game against Tennessee Martin, and that was a beautifully thrown ball by Brown. First down now at the 48-yard line. Blitz coming, and a little swing pass. They're not going to get much out of that. Pretty good coverage and a good tackle by Denson Clay.
Number 28, Kentrell Rogers.
They got a clock management problem here. They got a minute and 9 seconds. They still got time to drive down and make a score. I mean, they really do. And talk about a swing of events. If they could pull that off, that would be something special.
They've got 2 timeouts left, a minute 9 to go, and a pretty hot quarterback, as Brown has been very impressive, the redshirt freshman. And a cast of receivers that is very, very strong. We talked about that. They've thrown the ball to 16 different guys during the course of this year.
It's great protection.
Wide open in the middle of the field. Oh, a good tackle coming from the back. That's good recovery by number 34. Aaron Farouz again with the catch for Courtney Wright, who is the co-leader in tackles on this team for North Alabama. And he is with Reggie Rice. 2 of them are outstanding. Reggie Rice also, by the way, a guy who started his career at Central Arkansas. So there's a homecoming of sorts for guys. You see Farouz's numbers, 5 catches for 60 yards. Wright plays the bandit in the North Alabama defense. What's a bandit's role, Jesse?
Well, as an outside linebacker, or some people call him a strong safety. He's the guy that's out there to play. I'm really shocked at how wide open that guy was. That good a receiver. I mean, he worked himself wide open because he also got 4.4 speed. He's got the ability to uncover himself. And obviously, he has great hands because he doesn't even come close to bobbing him anything. But he's an excellent, excellent football player. The UCA called timeout here, and officials round the clock. They're going to have to put some time back on it. I guess they already have, but
it's back up to
critical. Every second's important in a situation like this.
Special thanks to our corporate partners.
It's been a story of 2 different games right now. Kentrell Rogers had a 9-yard run after the opening kickoff was fumbled by North Alabama. A safety on a mishandled snap on a punt made it 9-0. Then that man Farouz caught a touchdown pass to make it 16-zip, and from that point, it has been all UNA. We've got a touchdown reception as you take a look at next week's game. Number 5, Valdosta State against number 24, Delta State. This is this Saturday, actually, at 6 p.m. That should be a dandy. Toss back and good penetration. Stops him short of the first down. Oops, be careful there. Extracurricular activity. And good tackle by number 11, Marcus Jackson, in on the play. We'll watch again here as...
That was a great defensive play. That's a misdirection play. They got 3 guys out there waiting on him after a fake away and coming back to backside. I mean, that was an unbelievable defensive play.
Brett Borden was in on the play as well as Jackson, who got credited with the tackle. That was Kentrell Rogers. We talked about 16 unanswered points for UCA, and then UNA came back with the touchdown reception by Chip Long. 2 field goals by Utah Fukuda made it 16-13, and then the touchdown reception just a short while ago by Anthony Merritt, and what was a 16-0 lead now. 20 be 16 in favor of North Alabama.
UCA just took a timeout with a 4th down and a foot. It's going to be interesting to see what Coach Conk comes up with and what his decision will be here. I know he'd like to get a 1st down and get in and get another score here just before half. But he also doesn't want to turn this thing over with 35 seconds to 40 seconds. They can score in a heartbeat.
Well, especially with 3 timeouts. But if you assume he's going to keep it on the ground to make sure he gets the 1st down, Jesse, what do you do then? If you spike it, how much time do you think he'll have at that point?
Well, he still have, 30 seconds or so in the field. You still got time. The way these teams can score, you got time. But what my concern would be is not get a 1st down.
Well, they have plenty of time.
North Alabama have it with 35, 40 seconds.
Well, you talked about the confidence these teams have on 4th down. 5 for 10 on the season so far is UCA, and they go for a pitch, and not only is he going to make it, he's going to get out of bounds. That's a brilliant play, actually, because they gain big yardage and stop the clock.
Exactly. That's the key. That's why I said I know it had to be a big decision for Coach Conk to do that, but they got the ball out of bounds. They got a 1st down. Now they got a new clock, 33 seconds left. Plenty of time to get a touchdown.
Well, that's when you know you got great rushers. Kentrell Rogers, a 1,000-yard rusher last year. We've talked about him tied for 2nd in career scoring with 37 touchdowns. Another young man, Willie Hobson, trying to come back from injury, who gained 1,000 yards 2 years ago. That takes a lot of guts to go turn it to the outside there and know that you're going to make it and get out of bounds. And now they got time, 33 seconds on the 32-yard line.
There was some very good blocking on that play as well from front people up front.
Got a man. Oh, is he going to get out of bounds? He does. There's that man again, Feruz.
Aaron Feruz.
Having a big game. That is going to be his 6th reception already of the night. He's already caught one for a touchdown, and more importantly, again, Jesse gets out of bounds. There's still 27 seconds to go. They have plenty of time to take some shots here.
Well, you got a 6'6" guy lined up out here. You got time to lay it in the end zone 3 times if you want to. I'm sure that's going through their mind. I think it's going through their mind. I know if I was a secondary coach out there, I'd be scared to death that's what they're going to do.
You've got to be pleased if you are Central Arkansas and the play of their quarterback, Nathan Brown, the composure of this kid for a redshirt freshman his first start. It's been just terrific.
Feruz there at the corner end zone.
That's where they're looking, and they've got him. That's why this man to my right won a lot of football games. He called that right from the get-go. Throw it up there high, let the big man go get it, and Aaron Feruz does his 2nd touchdown reception of the evening. And just before the half, the Bears have gone back on top, and that is an enormous answer. And all the momentum had gone to the visitors.
That was a great pattern by Feruz. He ran a little post corner route called a smash route. Outside guys in the flat. He was the middle receiver and ran a flag route, and it was a great route and a great throw.
Trying to tack on the point after here, which is good. Makes it 23-20. Paul puts it through there. And we've got a fine ball game at the half, a high-scoring game, 23-20. There's still 22 seconds to go. We're not done with the first half back in Conway. That man is having a big night. Aaron Feruz has already caught 7 balls for 92 yards and 2 touchdowns. He already holds the record for receptions in a game of 13. He's on pace to break that. And when he broke that record, it was the record that he had previously held with 12. A big night for the big wide receiver.
Yes, sir. From Mansfield, Texas.
Well, we'll see if there's an answer for Mr. Merritt along the ground here. They're going to let him get it. Merritt, the explosive return man, and he's got some room. Be careful there, out of bounds. You don't want a penalty in this situation. Merritt runs it out to the 38-yard line. 15 seconds to go, but keep in mind they have 3 timeouts here.
Maybe an eternity for these guys. I'm telling you, 3 timeouts, that speed on the field.
They are going to try and get themselves in position to let Utah Faguda have one more crack at it. He's already kicked 2 field goals. If he's got a chance at one more, although I don't know the way these 2 teams think. They're probably thinking about a touchdown in 15 seconds.
Yeah, I'm not sure they're thinking field goal. I'm not sure of that at all.
Vinny Saylor got a good first half as well. Looks and throws. Had to rush that one a bit.
pass from...
We started out bragging about the two defenses. All of a sudden, you got a 23-20 ball game. Evidently, we got two pretty good offenses out there.
We do. Patrick Wilson, the 5'11" junior from Jasper, Alabama, the intended receiver there. That puts a crimp in what they're going to do now with only 9 seconds. They've got to try and get one big gain, get a timeout, and let the young man from Japan hope he can blast one, I would think.
Well, if they make a big play, it's going to be some kind of fluke, because the UCA has got them all back.
UCA has...
Get back, get back, get back. Don't give up
the four defensive backs are no nearer than 25 yards to the line of scrimmage. They're going to run it up the middle, and I think live to fight another day, because that will put an end to what has been a very entertaining and exciting first half, and the home fans love the fact that their Bears came back and answered what was a 16-0 lead. Wound up a 20-16 deficit, and then turns into a 23-20 lead for the Bears at halftime. And let's go down to the field with Jim Cavall, one of the coaches. Jim?
Here with Coach Conk. Coach Conk, talk a little bit about what it's like overcoming the deficit that you once had a lead, and then you lost it, and now you have it back.
Well, we had a 16-0 lead, I believe. Then we had, a couple of turnovers in a short field for the defense. Thought we showed a lot of character holding the field goals, except for the one touchdown, and then a lot of character when we came back on the 2-minute drive.
What do you plan to tell your team in the half, knowing this is going to be a tough battle coming up in the second half against the UNA?
Well, we gave them 17 points on turnover, so if we don't turn the football over, I like our chances to win the game. Our defense is playing well. Our kicking game's holding up, and we're playing with a lot of emotion. We just got to stay away from the big mistakes, and that's turnovers right now.
Good luck in the second half, Coach. Bob?
Clint Conk's home team, Bears, have come back, Jesse, from what was a momentum shift, and you touched it. It was the turnovers really the story of the game.
Yeah, well, that was the thing he was worried about. He had that as his #1 key to winning, actually, was to, make sure you win the turnover battle, and they've been very good about it. I mean, they've been super. Matter of fact, they had +7, I believe, and North Alabama had +6. And now all of a sudden, both of them are having trouble holding on to the football tonight. I know they've given up 17 points on turnovers, but UNA's given up some points on turnovers also, so it's working both ways. That's why it's a close ball game.
It's been a terrifically entertaining first half, and we expect more of the same in the second half. 23-20, the Central Arkansas Bears got themselves a 3-point lead at the intermission, and we're looking forward to a great second stanza here.
See North Alabama strutting their stuff as they're one of the hottest teams in the GSC right now. And early, it's Reggie Rice, the strong safety, making a nice interception. The defense for UNA would be the big story on the day, holding Harding to only 6 points in the ball game. The special teams output here for Harding was very special in its own right. Great blocking by the Harding blockers, creating a big run on the kickoff return all the way to the 23-yard line. But unfortunately, the UNA defense was too tough. Harding would not even get a chance to attempt a field goal here as they turn it over on downs, giving the ball back to UNA and giving it into the hands of Vinny Saylor. Great timing pass here from Saylor to Jason Messing. And then on the next drive, Saylor comes right back with a pass, this time to Jerron Fountain. Fountain scores on a nice dive, putting the ball over the pylon, getting the crowd and his team hyped up. Then the double reverse. First Fountain gets the handoff, then he pitches it to Anthony Merritt. Merritt bounces to the outside and bounces to the end zone. Check out the run here by Anthony Merritt. UNA dominating in offense, and on the other side of the ball in defense, Harding could do nothing with the Lions. Look at the timing pass here from Vinny Saylor to Jerron Fountain. UNA wins this one 35-6 over Harding.
Back here in Conway, where Central Arkansas has a 23-20 lead over North Alabama. Jesse, this has been like pocket billiards. We had unanswered points. We had 16 to start the game, and then a 20 to answer to give the lead to the visitors, and then the home team answers with a touchdown right before the half, 23-20.
And a whole rash of turnovers, which both coaches wanted to win the turnover battle, and it's absolutely, I know it's just racking both of them's mind what we're going to do to stop fumbling the football or turning it over. But, hey, the team that's made the fewest mistakes is ahead in the ball game 23-20.
Got a lot of highlights to look at, a lot of explosive offense against two terrific defenses. Take a look right here. Here's the game's first touchdown. This was off of the fumbled kick to start the game, and Rogers runs it in for the score. This was the mishandled snap for the punt. And then that long lofted pass to the guy who's had a big first half, Peruz, gave them the 16-0 lead, but this is when the answer started. For the visitors, the touchdown. Bakuda kicked 2 field goals. And the nice throw to Merritt. This was the answer right before the intermission. How significant was that, Jesse?
That's big. But both these scores are big. There's no question that the receivers, Merritt's caught 7 passes. Farouz has caught 7 passes. Both of them have had a great first half. So that's where the game is right now. I'll tell you that one Farouz catches 7 passes for 2 touchdowns, a big play.
Well, that one there was a big answer psychologically. You heard Coach Conk say that at the intermission about how important he thought that was psychologically for his team to answer. You take a look at the halftime stats. Look at this. Passing yards, 169 and 100. Total yards only 108, though, for UNA. That means they only have 8 yards rushing, so they haven't exactly got it done on the ground, but the passing game for both teams has been very effective.
Right. Neither one of the teams has rushed the football very much. I mean, Kentrell Rogers made a couple of good runs for UCA, but they only have 58 yards. But you're right, only 8 yards rushing for UNA, so the running the football is not obviously is not the key tonight like it was last week.
You don't need to when you can put 43 combined points throwing it, and we'll see if there's more fireworks in the second half. 23-20, the home team has answered for a 3-point lead. Central Arkansas on top, and we will come back with the second half of our Gulf South Conference Game of the Week from Conway, Arkansas after this. We're back here in Conway. It's been a very entertaining first half. These two outstanding teams. We've talked all night long about the outstanding defenses. They put 43 points on the board. That's a tribute to the offenses. They have been able to get it done through the air. You think anything will change in the second half, Jesse? Is there anything you saw there that would lead us to think it's going to be any different in the second half?
I will be totally shocked if they don't quit turning it over in their end of the field, because what's happened is that most of these scores have come off of short fields. And I think that's going to be the big key, is to find a way to hang on to that ball. And I think that's the thing that both coaches would like to change.
Well, these two coaches have obviously been preaching that to their teams. And you take a look at Mark Hudspeth, the head coach for UNA, in his 4th year, 26-13 in his times there. In his time there, he was the National Coach of the Year in 2003 when his team went 13-1 and was the Gulf South Conference champions, and a former defensive back and quarterback at Delta State, class of 92, in his 4th season there as the head man for the Lions. And Clint Conk, who we heard from right before the half, coach said pretty much what you said, which is, guys, let's do what we're doing, but let's stop turning the ball over and we'll be in good shape.
Boy, he's got great quarterback play out of Nathan Brown. You've commented on it several times. I've commented on it, but the guy's just done a phenomenal job. He's 17 out of 19 for 169 yards, 2 touchdowns. I mean, he's doing his job. He really is. And I think you can, I know Clint's got to be very proud of what that young man's done. But it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the second half. UNA is going to kick off, start with, and we'll see what if any coaches have made any real adjustments at halftime. I don't know what they'd have to adjust.
You make a good point. I mean, it's one of those things where they've been so effective offensively. If you can just eliminate a couple of mistakes, we even saw a costly penalty. If you remember, there were no punts in the first half. That's technically true. There was a punt, but an offside penalty gave them a first down, and so that punt was taken off the board and led to the first touchdown for the Lions. So see if the defenses can put the clamps down a little bit as we're underway in the second half.
One thing about it is that Fountain only touched the ball 4 times in the first half, so
a big return, but we got a flag back here. I think it's all going to come back anyway, much to the disappointment of the home fans, because that was a terrific return by Dwayne Hill, but there it is, the illegal block in the back, and it will come back. The flag down to the 26-yard line, so it's going to come way back.
There is a flag on the play.
And again, talk about mistakes. Let's see if we can see it, Coach. See if you can see it on the replay here. There's a lot of bodies flying. I'm not sure, but boy, there was a big hole for him. And Central Arkansas will have that one called back. So it'll be back it all the way up to the 12-yard line, where, well, not quite the 12, excuse me. They moved the chains back upfield a little bit. Now it's going to be the 16-yard line, and that's where they will take over. With Nathan Brown, who had a big first half, 17 of 19, 169 yards, and a pair of touchdowns, really showed great composure. You know, there hasn't been a whole lot of blitzing though so far in this game.
No, when they did, they got burned. I bet one, remember on the middle screen.
And we'll see if any Teams change up on that. Quick pass to the left. Not much there. I'm not even sure it was a reception. It was not. Ruled incomplete. So just actually officially the 4th incompletion of the night for Brown. So he has been very, very accurate. They go back to work from the 16-yard line.
2nd and 10 for the Bears from the 16.
He had tough shoes to fill, did Brown, because Zach Clark, the quarterback for this team last year, really put gaudy numbers up. Records for completions in his career, season passing yards, and he has stepped up tonight with his first start. The redshirt freshman looked very composed and very accurate.
You mentioned Zach Clark. He had 3 great years here at UCA. He did break an index. Broke an index finger in his 2nd year that really hampered his play, but he had 3 great years here at UCA.
See what the controversy is. I think they wanted did they want a roughing the passer call? Is that what they were complaining about? There was an outburst on the near sideline when that pass was batted, deflected, incomplete by Brown. And, no call, though, no flag, so it brings up a 3rd down and 10. And we've talked about the great defensive ability of UNA on 3rd down. Coming into the game tonight, they've been only giving up 19% success on 3rd down. A difficult 3rd and 10 here.
You got Aaron. Oh my!
Oh, that was a well-designed and a well-run play. Brown to Ferris, and that is going to be good for a 1st down.
They used Aaron as a decoy that time, and it worked.
Aaron Ferus has had a huge first half, 7 catches for 92 yards and a pair of touchdowns. But as you said, that time they used him as a decoy, and this team has been so effective throwing the football. We talked about 16 different guys who caught the ball. Well, obviously they have a lot of weapons, and they used one there.
That's a big conversion on 3rd and 10, big conversion.
On the ground this time, not much there, though. But they have really had a hard time gaining anything on the ground. Kentrell Rogers, he did score on a 9-yard run or to start the ball game, but really there hasn't been much there. Reggie Rice on the stop for North Alabama.
If they had 16 carries for 45 yards, a 2.8 average in the 1st half. I mean, it's really difficult to run on this football team.
Well, they're giving up less than 2 yards a carry on the season, so that gives you an indication it's not just tonight. They have been solid all year long. 2nd down and 9 now at the 29. Time for Brown, and wide open in the middle of the field. He's got a 1st down and more. Nicely thrown ball and great protection put right in the hands of Austin Cade, another receiver that we talk about. We've talked about Ferris and Norvell and Peruz, but now you've got Cade with a catch, and they are getting other guys involved. But Coach, as a former coach, you've talked a number of times tonight about the play of the line, and boy, they gave him a lot of time that time.
Great protection. And that was a big tight end, 6'3", 252-pounder from Brownsville, Texas. Big catch for 1st down.
Down to the 48-yard line now. In Lion territory. And again on the ground. McCoy, not much there. They just can't get anything going on 1st down. Rogers not even to the line of scrimmage.
Once again, that was the option play out of the shotgun, and he really probably should have kept that ball. If he'd have kept it, he might have made some yards around the left end. But once again, the running game, they ain't giving up much running.
Courtney Wright with the stop. Terrific defender for the Lions. Back to the 50, 2nd down and 12 now. And what's surprising, though, is when it's been so pass dominant that they haven't been able to get any penetration. They really haven't. Forget about sacks. They haven't even really hurried him very much, Jess.
Well, they've gotten burned when they have tried to blitz. You know, here they're coming.
Here they come this time, though. It's a screen. Almost a big play, though. Almost an enormous play. Doug Waller said that one would have been smooth sailing for me.
Doug Waller is a transfer out of Middle Tennessee from another Division I school. Big play by him.
6'3", 298-pound senior from Florida. As you watch the replay, ball was deflected. Give credit where it's due to the deflection as well. That was number 46 in there on the deflection, Tim Hunt, who got a hand on it. And again, another 3rd and long. They were able to convert last time. They got a result that time with the blitz. Let's see if they come again.
Here they come.
Here they do. And again a deflection. Well, maybe they've changed their philosophy here a bit. They haven't been able to stop them really by playing coverage, so you might as well bring some people.
They're actually doing what you call a zone blitz. They're actually dropping those defensive linemen back and bringing linebackers. And you can see here, once again, the linebacker's getting there, putting the heat on him. Oh, he got hit hard, too, just as he released that ball.
Doug Waller, again, the guy who was involved in the last play. Let's take a look here. Yeah, he was hit. You're right.
Well, there was a tremendous hold in that play, too. We didn't catch that.
Yeah. Look at this punting average that they have been outstanding all year. 37.5 for fourth in the NCAA in net punting average. But this will be the first, actually the second punt of the night. The other was waved off because of a penalty. Garland at a 39.4 average, and that's a nice one down to about the 10. Fair catch, well done by Garland. They do not allow Merritt to do anything on the return, and that's where they will start at the 10-yard line. So the first possession of the second half is a stop. We didn't get many of those in the first half. We'll see how it changes here when we come back from Conway. 23-20, the home team on top. Back in Conway, 23-20, but UCA not able to put any more points on the board. And so Vinny Saylor, off of a big first half, will bring his offense out on the field. He was 15 for 22 in the first half for 100 yards and 2 touchdowns, and he'll start at his 11-yard line. Hand off to Packer, and keeping with the theme of the night, there just is not much on the ground.
Not much at all. They had, in the first half, they had 13 carries for 35 yards, and actually a net 8 yards for a 0.6 yards per carry. They really need to get the running game going. That could really help them if they could do that.
Make you wonder what will happen if a team has a lead. Take a look at the Bears defense. 9th in the NCAA in rushing yards allowed. 70.5 tonight, 9. That's not going to hurt that average any. But boy, you're going to have a hard time playing with a lead in this game, though, Jesse, because you're not going to be able to just sit on the football. You're going to have to throw it to move the chains, and that's sometimes fraught with peril, as was this, evidently. And they're going to have to burn a timeout here. And Saylor,
you may need that later on.
What he saw. He'll talk it over here with Coach Mark Hudspeth. Talked about the turnovers in the first half and how significant they were. But, Coach, how do you address something like that at halftime? Because the more you talk about it, the more players tense up and the more prone they are to fumble the thing.
I told somebody one time that if I could figure out how to make somebody quit fumbling, I'd write a book on it, and I would retire a multi-millionaire. And I'm sure that's what the coaches are thinking right now. What do I have to say to get them to hold on to the football?
More great football from the Gulf South Conference coming up with a couple of powerful teams going to hook up the Valdosta State Blazers taking on number 24 Delta State. That's a live telecast at 6 p.m. and you will be here for that with my good friend Don Russell will be in this chair, and you should have another dandy. It's going to be tough to top this one, though. It's pretty entertaining tonight. 2nd and 9 now for Saylor. Looks right and has a man open. Good hit, though. Good coverage. It's going to be well short of the first down.
You mentioned the Delta State game and the Valdosta. What a great game that's going to be. It was a very controversial game last year that Valdosta won at Valdosta. And this year it's going to be, I mean, I can't imagine what a big game that will be on Saturday afternoon at 6 o'clock.
We still have a lot more of what's been a good game here tonight to go. That pass was caught by Long. Saylor's numbers you see there. Both these guys have been pretty effective throwing the football. It'll be a 3rd and 3 from the 18 here. See if they blitz. Got time, has a man, and that's going to be a first down. Nice job by Saylor in the backfield to buy himself just an extra second to find the receiver, and it's good for a first down.
They had a little pressure on him. They actually did bring some linebackers on time, but they do a great job of protecting.
Watch here right in the middle of the field. It is again Long with the catch and a first down. Ball's at the 29-yard line for Saylor. It's messing down at the bottom of your screen there, to the left. That's where he's looking. And, oh, if he caught that, if he hangs on to that, that's a brilliant catch. We're waiting for a call. That is. What a terrific reception. Jason Messing down the bottom of your screen. That ball was put in between a couple of defenders, and he did a terrific job hauling that one in. Take a look at this.
That was an unbelievable play. Sophomore from Knoxville, Tennessee. Excellent.
It's a pretty good throw also. Throw it over the first defender and get it in there before the safety was able to get over and help. And that's a first down missing, as you see. Caught the football. It's been for sizable gains, almost 24 yards of reception. Ball at the 47 now. There's the toss on the ground. They gained about a yard. They should give that young man the football. That is Jason Fountain, as you talked about, Coach. They want to put it in his hands, but on the ground it has been tough to come by any positive yardage.
That was a great defensive play by UCA. I mean, to hold that guy to a 2-yard gain on an option play, which, you know, when you can throw like they can and still run some kind of option, that's really tough to defend, and UCA did a great job.
Does a great job fighting the block off here. Watch the replay again down here at the bottom of your screen. It's actually the first defender who was able to avoid the block and make the stop for a pickup of 2, 2nd and 8.
Oh,
that's wisely thrown. Trying to get that one in the 3rd row. Good decision there by Saylor to avoid the sack.
They ran a little twist stunt in the line that time and got loose and put some pressure on him right away, and he had to get rid of that football. You can see here, watch the lineman twist around.
Is that what they did the last play, too? I thought I saw them do that on the other play where you said they got some pressure.
They put some pressure on him with a 4-person rush. That's good.
Well, he was under the gun there. There's 3 of the 4 right on top of him as he threw that one away. Brings up a 3rd and 8.
This is a very big play in this drive. It's 45-yard line.
Checks with the sideline. Plenty of time on the game clock, on the play clock, rather. When he looked over there was still 12 on the play clock, so plenty of time to get it off. And a bad snap. Recovered by number 74. What in the world happened there?
It looked like it hit him.
Mask, who recovered it.
It looked like it hit the center's leg as he was snapping it back. It was a total miscue. We'll let you see it again on replay. Oh.
It never slipped right out of his hand.
Well, you know, it gets sweaty out there. Ball's slick.
We've seen just about everything here tonight. It's really not that warm a night. It's a very comfortable night, but that one slipped out of the hand, and Brett Mask alertly recovered it. So there are no punts in the first half. We have a punting festival going on.
Yeah.
Back to back. It's Lyle Atkinson who hangs one up there. It's going to bounce at the 7, and that's about as much real estate as you can have to cover for the Bears here. That ball is downed at the 1. Beautiful job on the special teams by the Lions.
That's not a coach's dream to have the ball on the 1-yard line and a 3-point lead, or the 2-yard line, and now you got to get that ball. But I tell you what his idea right now is make 1 first down. That's the first key for the offense. Make 1 first down. Get that thing off that goal line, then think about another one.
Well, this is another example, isn't it, Coach, of where the inability for either team really to run the football is so important, because you can't even buy yourself 4 or 5 yards here, because they've really had very little ability to move the ball on the ground, and anything you do here throwing it is potentially very, very risky. It is actually spotted at the 2.
It's about 2 tight ends.
Buy themselves some real estate here. They're going to fake the ground, fake it on the ground. A little short pass would pick up about 6 or 7. Well designed and well executed.
A bootleg pass off of his own play, and get the tight end in the flat, one-on-one out there, and a great pass for the quarterback. Great quarterback pass by Brown. Gets it off that goal line. 1 first down. Remember that. Get us 1 first down.
Well, and if you have to throw it, a pretty safe play to run, and kind of a low-risk play there,
right,
obviously.
Right.
If he's in trouble, you can easily throw that one away, and they turned it into a good gain of 6. 2nd down and 4, according to the scoreboard. That's what we'll call it on the quick toss. Touch there again. Jesse gives me the 0 symbol, which is what it is. They have had 0 on the ground. Both teams have had trouble moving it on the ground. Very good job on the defense. Actually moved them back a yard, so now it'll be a 3rd and long for closer to 5, really. Looking for that elusive 1 first down you were talking about, Jess.
1 first down. That's all they want to get right now. But I got to throw for it. I mean, you know, that's. I think I'd be trying to see where number 81 is right now.
There's a lot of room up there on the far side of the football field, though. They put a man in motion. It's Norvell. That's who they're going to. Oh, boy, that was close to a disaster, and he really got clocked. He is shaken up. Norvell went in motion. They looked for him, and he got hit. The ball and the defender arrived at just about the same time, and he was in a very vulnerable position, and he is shaken up. Take a look at it again. Here's the throw and the big hit by number 20, Reggie Rice. Just was right on. Even had he caught it, it would not have been a first down.
Reggie Rice from Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Another guy who started his playing career right here at Central Arkansas before headed there. Norvell, 4 receptions for 23 yards, holding his left arm, looks like maybe his shoulder, as they'll get set to kick it away. Garland back halfway in his end zone. That's a good high kick. It'll come down around the midfield stripe. Oh, good coverage. Good coverage here. And he's still on his feet, but that was a return of 6 yards in the wrong direction for Mr.
Merritt.
Merritt, number 21.
Merritt.
We're getting that out. Anthony Merritt with the return, but Jess, I guess when you're that brilliant, you can run the risk of losing yardage with the, because you normally don't want to see that as a coach, do you? You don't want to see your guy.
No, you don't. You don't want to give up that real estate. But I tell you what, you got to give UCA credit. I'm telling you, these guys are doing a great job on special teams, which is what, Clint said they had to do. They had to do a great job in the kicking game.
Well, they have on Merritt all night. He's a guy that has returned punts for touchdowns, kickoffs for touchdowns. And a game a short while ago where he scored every way of the 4 you can on the ground, on the reception, and 2 returns. That ball is broken up, almost intercepted. Intended for number 22, Patrick Wilson.
That was almost.
Angelosi has been doing a terrific job all year long defensively. We mentioned he refers to him as his inspirational leader of the defense. He's an all-conference selection. He's got a couple of interceptions this year. Almost got another one there. Ball still at the 44, 2nd and 10. They've really done a great job. You just can't overstate the job they've done on the special teams with Merritt, who's averaging 20-plus yards on kick returns, and he's always a threat to put a big number up. That's so tonight. Plenty of time. Short pass out to Packer. Big hit there. That is going to be stopped for basically no game. Beautiful job defensively. Watch it again here. Trying to get him open in the flat, and just a hammer laid on him there for basically no game. Nathan Johnson with the hit. He's up a 3rd down and 9. Well, the defenses have risen to the occasion here after the intermission.
Some hard hitting going on right now. This is a big play, 3rd down and 9.
Plenty of time. Going to bring it down and run for it. It's going to be close. Reaches his right arm out to try and get the extra half yard, but I don't believe he made it. You'll see where they spot this. Very, very close for Saylor. Oh, yes, he did make it. That's what I get for listening to you, Jess. You told me he didn't make it, and he does. Watch it again right here. You see he extends that right arm at the end, and that's good enough to put it past the chain and a 1st down. 27, Dathan Johnson in on the stop, but it's not enough to keep it from being a 1st down. A big play there.
They only rushed 2 people that time, Bob. They only had 2 people coming after the quarterback, and that's what gave them so much time. They were playing defense defend all the way.
There's talk about adjustments at the intermission, and it appears the defenses have made the adjustments in this one, because after 43 points in the first half, we are 5:49 to play here without any scoring in the second half. Little room that time for Fountain.
That's Reggie Merritt again. He picked up about 7 yards there.
Jerron Fountain with some hard-earned yardage on the ground. Neither of these teams have been able to do much rushing. According to the stats we have here, 20 yards rushing for North Alabama, 5 for Central Arkansas. So they have been very, very hard to come by, according to the stats up there. 2nd down and 3. There we go. Back to business as usual on the ground. Packer took the handoff and barely had the ball in his hands before he was flattened by Ryan Taylor. Watch it again.
He got Packer, didn't he?
Look at Taylor coming from the left side. Doing a beautiful job of, right, yes, the public address announcer said Taylor and others. It was a lot of folks in on the stop. Did a brilliant job to bring up a 3rd and 7.
I mean, 0.6 yards in the first half rushing. I mean, they really don't have much running game.
Is there anything you've noticed defensively the teams have done? We saw a couple of wrinkles in pass rushing, but other than that, we'll get a chance to visit about that after this play. 3rd down and 7 here for Saylor. Got a man, and that's going to be a first down. Nicely thrown ball to Chip Long down at the 33. Well, the defense has done differently.
Well, they started running a twist up front, and they also started rushing just 3 people at times, sometimes only rushing 2. Really dropping off because they know they can't run the football. I mean, they haven't been able to run it against whatever they do. So obviously, let's just defend a little bit more and force them to run the football. And you know, that's a total backwards for most defensive coaches. Most defensive coaches say, we're going to take away the run and make them throw it. Well, I don't think you want to make North Alabama throw it.
I don't think you want to make either of these teams throw it. Well, he really got wrapped too, Saylor, after he released that. They are starting to get some pressure on both quarterbacks. Saylor really got hit that time, but put it right on the money, and it's a first down on that pass to Long. Ball's at 32. Again, they try it on the ground, the Packer, and this time they get some yardage. Not exactly taken out in big chunks, but anything that on the ground is going forward, Jess, is a bit of a moral victory tonight.
Yeah, if you get back to the line of scrimmage, you got something going here. But no, he's been about 3 yards. It's been a long time getting in the end zone cut rate for these guys.
Both these teams have a lot of offensive weapons, especially in the receiving corps, and we're seeing that tonight. But that has pretty much been the story of both their offenses, what they've been able to do through the air. He's had the hot hand now. Chip Long has been the go-to guy for the Lions. Before the game, we talked about Jerron Fountain, number 4, number 21, Anthony Merritt, but now it is Long who's stepping up and becoming an instrumental part of this offense.
Looks like they brought 5 people in. They put a little more, make him throw it a little quicker this time, and they did. Bring up 3rd down.
Long, 6'2", senior from Birmingham, Alabama, brings up a 3rd and 2 now. Boy, that was a dangerous throw. Wow, there were a lot of purple shirts over there, and these teams both wear purple, but it's not tonight for Saylor's bunch. They're in the white. That was a dangerous throw. And you know, it's amazing, just as I'm watching, they're not even holding anybody at bay with the play action, because there's really no threat they're actually going to run it. They fake to Packer, but there's really not much doubt they've got to get it done in the air, and that's what they'll do here on 4th down.
Yeah, it's a very big play right here. This is a momentum changer, whichever way it goes.
2:47 to play in the 3rd quarter. Again, a half-hearted fake on the run.
Big play.
That ball was thrown into double coverage and nothing there, and a big stop for Central Arkansas. They step up, stop the momentum, and it's going to be a first down going the other way for Nathan Brown. Good coverage there on number 4, Jerron Fountain. One of the go-to guys, not able to put the ball in his hands, and so it's over on downs at the 25, where the Bears will take over.
Boy, this quarter is flying by. I mean, it's like it's a total different game here in the second half than the first half.
It's almost unbelievable in light of how easily the teams moved the ball in the first half that we have had really nothing close to a score here in quarter number 3. 23-20, that was the score at halftime, and that is what it is right now as Nathan Brown goes to work, has a wide open Shea Jones. He's had a nice night.
Exactly. Well, you got to give the defensive coaches credit. They made some good adjustments at halftime. I can't tell you what they were, just watching it other than the fact what I've mentioned. But they're doing a good job because they figured out the other team can't run it. So we're going to defend the pass. We're going to make them go the long way.
Shea Jones, a hometown hero from Conway, Arkansas, the redshirt freshman, 6 feet tall. Picks up his his 3rd reception now for 42 yards. That's a pickup of about 8. It'll be 2nd and 2. Oh, what a hit that was as well. Boy, they have been about a half a dozen just absolutely staggering hits is Kentrell Rogers, who's a terrific runner, a 1,000-yard runner last year, and that is the hardest yard he'll ever gain. Courtney Wright with the tackle that was no nonsense about that. 198.8 total yards allowed per game. He's third in the NCAA. And as good as they've been, they've still given up 263 tonight. But that would still be a pretty effective night for most teams, but not for this one. They have been very, very effective in this early part of the season. Third down and a yard. And that's going to be a first down. Rogers earned that yard.
That was a big, big play, you know, to prove, hey, we're going to run the football on 3rd and 1, and we're going to make a first down. I mean, they did it. I mean, that's got to be that is definitely a battle won, because neither one of these teams been able to run the ball.
Take a look at the total rushing yards. Central Arkansas 45, North Alabama 23, and every inch of those yards has been earned. There have been some terrific hits all night long. There's another well-defended play. Nothing there, really. Barely back to the line of scrimmage to Cameron Kennard.
You know, North Alabama's made up their mind that Aaron Faraz is not going to catch the ball this half either. He hadn't had a pass. You know, they're doing a great job defending him.
He had a big first half where he's caught 7 balls for 92 yards. And has been shut out here in quarter number 3. There's a flag on the play. The ball right through the hands of number 85, Kennard. Well, number 74, Ronnie Lee, likes it, so he's either a good actor or it's going against the Lions. And we'll wait for the call here. Offsides gives him 5 yards, makes a 2nd and 5 now from the 41. Well, the one thing we could say the second half, it's been pretty much mistake-free. No turnovers, no real penalties, but also no scoring. So it's been a complete opposite of the first half, where we had a lot of turnovers and lots of points. Probably the last play, unless it's an incomplete pass here in quarter number 3. Play clock down to 5. Brown keeps, and that will end this 3rd quarter. So a 43-point first half and a scoreless quarter number 3. But what it's made for us is what promises to be an entertaining 4th quarter from Conway, where these two outstanding teams are going to battle it out. Will North Alabama be able to keep their undefeated streak alive? We'll find out. 4th quarter straight ahead. Back here in Conway, Arkansas, where we've got a good one. Bob Valvano along with Jesse Branch and Jim Cabal, where number 14 North Alabama trying to continue their undefeated start to this season, but if they do it, they'll do it coming from behind. Central Arkansas has got a 23-20 lead. 3rd down and 3 now for the Bears.
Well, that 3rd quarter was a slugfest, wasn't it? Oh, he's wide open.
He's got a man wide open. That's going to be a big gain. And the ball is on the ground again. That has been the story of the first half. The 3rd quarter, we got away from that, and now, once again, the turnover rears its ugly head. Jesse, well, that was a big, big play, and all for naught. Take a look.
Peru's first catch, and he fumbled it after a great run, catch and run.
Lions will take over 1st and 10.
Peru's had caught 7 balls in the first half. was shut out in the third quarter. See who we can see who the hit is. It's that hit right there. Number 29 comes from the back. That's Gerald Norman, ultimately, who puts the second hit. But that isn't the one that jarred it loose. It was the first hit. Somebody laid a hat on that ball and jarred it loose, and it turns into a turnover now.
Jaron Fountain, boy, that's one that they wanted to get the ball to, and they've done it a couple times this half.
Sailor to Fountain for a pickup of about 5. It's been a game of lots of momentum swings. The home team scored the first 16 points. Bears led 16-0. The Lions answered with 20 unanswered to take a 20-16 lead. Under 2 minutes to go in the first half, the Bears put a touchdown on the board. Peruz caught a touchdown pass that gave them a 3-point lead. No scoring in quarter number 3, and that's where we are right now. We start the fourth quarter with a shovel pass. That's going to be good for a first down. Gregory Clark, the 5'9" junior from Jackson, Alabama, picks up some good yardage. And that'll be a first down.
That's a punch and counter punch. They caught him in that twist in and run a little shovel pass right where the guy twisted from for a big, big play.
Well, you pointed that out. That seemed to be one of the defensive adjustments that we've seen here, the twist, and there's an offensive counter that wide open here. It's going to be a good gain out near the sticks. To number 83, Chip Long, who's had a big second half here.
The psychological ups and downs. It's amazing what that old big play and all of a sudden turnover just totally changes the momentum.
Anthony Merritt has caught 7 balls. He caught all those in the first half as well. Jerron Fountain has 5, but now Chip Long is becoming a big part of this offense. That's his 8th catch, actually, for 60 yards, and he's got a touchdown reception. So it's been 1A and 1B, but I guess we've got a 1C working right now. That's a dangerous pass, but a pretty good job of hauling that one in. Jesse, you can hang that guy up to dry when you throw it up that high, can't you?
Yeah, you can. That was a kind of a leg whip tackle the guy put in. He was getting blocked, and they just happened to throw his legs around, and look at this. Boom, there it is.
Gregory Clark did a nice job hauling that in. See number 26 in there, Isaac Hendricks, was able to make the unusual stop, but it's good for a 9-yard gain, 2nd and 1. I think it's 2nd and 1. Let's see. Maybe we're going to get a measurement here. I don't know if they're getting paid by the measurement tonight, but if they are, they should be making some pretty good dough. We've had a lot of measurements. It is apparently just a bit short.
Didn't have any fat boys on the chain crew tonight.
They're earning their pay. Going to be just a bit short. It'll actually bring up a 3rd down. And inches. It's been hard to get anything on the ground, but this close, you got to think well, this is what they've done before. It's been the quarterback keeper, and based on that formation, Jess, I think that's what they're going to run again. Yep, that'll do it.
That's it. That's their best running play.
I think you might be right. It's been the big gainer on the ground is when Sailor
0.6 average. That's a yard and a half.
It just lunges forward for a yard. It's good enough for a first down. I talked about how difficult it's been to gain ground. 20 rushes for 23 yards for UNA, 22 for 49. Excuse me, 21 for 25 now for UNA. You're right. That was the big gainer right there. 22 for 49 on the other side. So hard to get anything going on the ground. 1st and 10 now at the 46. Looks like they're thinking about blitzing. Certainly included number 35, Gregory Clark, as a big part of this offense here in the second half. Not a guy we spent a lot of time talking about.
Well, it's a good gang tackling there on that play, too. Off the option play, get up there and gang tackle that running back.
Jasper Johnson, number 19, right in the middle of that, leading the defense.
A hard 3 yards.
2nd and 7 for 49. Quick toss to the left. There's that man Fountain, and he's going to turn it into awfully close to a first down. We'll see.
Fair measure.
Maybe we'll get another measurement. You're right. It's going to be a bit short. It's at the 45. It's going to make a 3rd down and 1. Back into the game again is Gregory Clark, the 5'9", 215-pound junior from Jackson, Alabama, who's been a big part of the second half. Take a look at the Lions offense. Leading the Gulf South at 458+ yards a game. Tonight just 218. Give credit to that Central Arkansas defense. Looks to his right, in and out of the hands of Merritt. Almost intercepted.
Boy, that would have been a big change. North Alabama never huddles. You know, they watch their coach on the sideline. They come to the line of scrimmage, get in the formation. They look to the sideline. Coach Hudspeth gives them the signal to what they're doing. It's amazing the way they do this with all the signals from the sideline. This is, of course, this is the new age football. This is the way they do it. It's very, very successful.
Has not been his usual spectacular self tonight. Certainly he's been effective at times. But that ball went through his hand. He fumbled the opening kickoff, and now it brings up a 4th and 1. They're going to throw for it. That's a pretty good job in the back by both Saylor and the receiver, Jason Messick, coming back to get that one.
That's his second catch just like that tonight, where he just literally took it away from the defensive back. I mean, literally took it away from the defensive back. Watch this.
That's a good point. He had one earlier in the first half, and watch this. He comes back to Saylor. And you're right. That is a who's got it when they go to the ground, and Messing comes up with it. And a big, big first down at the 35. Big running back Clark again. Starting to get at least 3 yards on. That's maybe the longest run of the night other than the scoring run.
Double their average. Triple their average.
Kentrell Rogers scored on a 9-yard run to begin the scoring after a fumbled kickoff. It may be the longest rush of the night. It's got to be close. There hasn't been much. 2nd down and 7 here. Again, credit to these two terrific defenses. These teams in almost every meaningful statistical category are 1 and 2 in the league. They have been outstanding in the early going. There's Fountain. Nothing to do his right. Says, I'll go back to my left.
What a great job.
There's a flag coming late in the play. He covered a lot of ground to get basically no gain out of that. That was terrifically defended. We'll see what the signal is here. Kelvin Horn with the stop. Lots of conferencing, and we'll see. Still waiting.
That guy's gained more yards sideways tonight. I mean, that's amazing. He can run around out there forever.
Boy, he really has. He covered about 30 yards running there for what was essentially no gain. But no lack of effort, that's for sure.
Yeah. It'll make the defense hyperventilate trying to chase him.
They leave the block, brings him back. Repeat 2nd down, as you just heard. Take a look. Let's see if we can watch it. There he goes. He comes to the right.
No bubble screen, what they call that play. You got the blockers out in front of him, but of course, once again, UCA just doing a great job breaking through. Great job.
That was the block you saw right at the end of the play. Number 83, Chip Long. Brings up a 2nd down and 17 now. A little bit of pressure. Good throw. Gets it back to about the original line of scrimmage. Chip Long is having a big night.
3-man rush again. They're gonna make him go the hard way. They give up, 8 or 9 yards. That's 3rd down and 10.
I believe Long's 9th reception of the evening. He's having a big night. Talked about Merritt. We talked about Fountain. Long has stepped up, as in the second half, as Gregory Clark, but it still brings up a 3rd and long for the Lions. Pulls it down. He's got a lot of ground to cover, and he's not going to get there. Knocked out of bounds at about the, actually brought down inbounds at the 29, well short of the 1st down.
Boy, they had everybody back. They had rushed 3 people, kept 8 people back. There's not a lot of room to throw that ball in there when they've got that many people back there in the secondary.
I think watch good pursuit. Push him out of bounds. Atkinson there. Number 47. And that's going to bring up a 4th down and
Field goal.
this ball's going to be spotted at about the 36, 46-yard attempt. Utah Fukuda, who's been perfect so far tonight. 2 for 2, actually. Made 2 field goals on the evening. Not quite that time. 46-yarder had the distance, but a little left, and so the Bears will have a chance to extend their lead. They stiffen and hold the lines there. Take a look at it again. Young man from Japan. Jesse actually has enough on it, but just hooks it a little bit left, and it's no good.
That was a big stop.
A look at Utah Fukuda. Utah Fukuda has had a good night, but not that time, and it's not enough to equalize this game. 23-20, the Bears on top. Back in here in Conway, Arkansas, where the University of Central Arkansas has got a 23-20 lead in what has been a strange game, Jess. 43 points in the first half, none after the intermission. These defenses have made great adjustments, but there's still a lot of football left to be played. We'll see how aggressive will they be offensively.
Oh,
Bad snap to start. Brown's going to turn that into a game. Oh, now it's an interception.
He had a surefire completion.
Intercepted and run back by number 27, Blake Farris. He had 3 interceptions coming into tonight. That's the 4th of the year, and it looked as if Brown was going to make a brilliant play, just turning what looked like a loss into a easy completion because he was actually wide open.
He was wide open.
Right through the receiver's hands. We'll get another look at this. And that was a happy turn of events for that man.
Got an injured player on the field, too. We need to see that play again because I'm sure it went off the guy's hands. He was wide open. I mean,
let's watch it again. Does a good job buying some time for himself in the back after the bad snap. Now watch the throw here. Wide open, basically. Little bit high, and that does a nice job of catching it, does Farris. That was actually, I think, Norvell, who was the intended receiver. It was Michael Norvell, who's usually pretty sure-handed, but that one bounced off his hand, and Farris came up with it.
Yep. We have a
penalty on the return. I believe we did on the return. It's an illegal block, and so it comes way back. That's a big play. Comes all the way back to the 43, but still the senior, as you see from Jasper, Alabama, comes up with his 4th pick of the year. And the Lions are back in business. Fountain. It's going to be a pickup of about 4.
Well, for one time, he didn't reverse his field.
Lawrence Atkinson, outstanding transfer for Central Arkansas, makes the stop. That's about a 4-yard pickup that they called 5. I think just out of courtesy tonight because the ground game has been such a difficult chore for both these teams. We'll call it 2nd and 6 here. Look at the yards per carry. 1.6 and 2.2. That tells the whole story. Terrific job by both these defenses against the ground game. We'll see, though, if the Bears can respond to that little shift in momentum here. Saylor fakes to Packer. There's Merritt. And there's a bunch of purple shirts, including number 47, Lawrence Atkinson again there to make the stop.
Great pursuit on that play. That bubble screen out there with 2 blockers in front of him, and boy, you better get some people out there in a hurry and look at the UCA people coming after him. There's 3 people here. There's got 4, 5, 6. I mean, they got some people out there on it.
And Horn in on the stop as well. Comes up a 3rd and short, about a yard. At the 34-yard line.
Time for the quarterback sneak, huh?
They don't run it out of this formation.
Well, they do have 2 tight ends. How about this?
Let's see what they're going to do. It is a running play, and it is number 6, Packer, and that's going to be good. Or will it be good enough for the first down?
I don't know. It looked like UCA made an
play also. excuse me, Jess, I saw penalty markers there, so we'll have to see if he had enough for the first down and what the penalty is. Does not look good for the home team because they are
Offside on the defense,
Yep.
23.
all the officials are facing one way. You have a pretty good idea who the penalty's against.
Yep.
And it's going to be a first down.
Bob, I just thought of something. This could be one of those real long nights. You know, they could tie this game, and it could be in overtime. And I don't know.
Hey, I have no flights tonight. I'm here. The room is paid for. I'll stay as long as we need to. I'm perfectly happy. It's been a very entertaining football game.
This is two very well-matched teams. It
Yes.
could go on forever.
I'm going to go on a limb and say it won't go on forever, but we'll see what it does. It comes down to down the stretch because it has been very even. Oh, that's dangerous. That's going nowhere. What a defensive play. Number 84, Jeremy Pittman. Yikes. Yes, that was dangerous because I don't know if that was a forward pass or a lateral. I couldn't tell which way he tossed it, but he was right on him, was Pittman. Let's take a look here. This is a lateral. Obviously, that would have been a free ball.
It might have been forward. I'm not sure. It was close.
Either way, it's a loss.
Yeah.
And a great defensive
It was
play
probably
by
a run because they lost yardage.
That's right. That's true. Keeping with the ground attack theme of the evening. Pittman, a transfer from Southern Miss, and he's a good one. Makes a good play there. Saylor running around to buy time. There's a dangerous ball there.
He was actually throwing that for a guy that was a little bit deeper, and I don't think he saw number 57. I don't believe he saw him in the window. He threw it right to him, and unfortunately he couldn't hold on to it. Quentin Maxfield, a junior out of Conway.
Let's take a look. Is he trying to throw this past him? He's trying to throw it down the field, you're right, but a good defensive play by Maxfield, who's the leading tackler and all preseason all-conference defender for Central Arkansas, and they have to step up again and try and preserve this three-point lead. These defenses, after having more than their share of problems in the first half, have stepped up after the intermission. Hasn't been a point scored in the second half. 3rd and 16 here. A little bit of razzle-dazzle.
Oh, no.
He's got him, and it works perfectly for the touchdown. Jason Messing. There is a flag on the play, though. Saylor's down. He got hit. Mark Hudspeth is hanging his head. I think he knows it's against his team. Not to mention now Saylor is shaken up. Just walk us through that play. Let's see what the call is first.
Ineligible receiver downfield.
Well, let's see if we can get it on replay. Hudspeth not happy with the call, obviously, needless to say. That's one you kind of save for a situation like that, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what he wanted.
It was definitely a good trick play, and it worked, but it was an awful long time in developing, so it very easily could have been an offensive lineman downfield. And I'm sure, well, I said very easily, obviously the officials saw somebody down there that shouldn't have been there.
Well, how difficult is this, Jess, for every play to be called from the bench and on everybody, not just the quarterback, but everybody's got to make reads, don't they?
Yeah, they got more signals than a baseball play. You know, it's unbelievable. Oh,
Pumps, looks.
That's great coverage. That's absolutely great coverage, though. You got to give it to UCA now. I'm telling you, they have done a great job in covering these outstanding receivers.
Let's take a look at the little bit of the razzle-dazzle that led to the touchdown that was called back here. Get another look at it.
It'll be 4th and 21.
Oh, yeah, 62's downfield. I see that. You can see it easily. Yeah.
41, Bob Atkinson.
Oh, boy, it was.
And actually, it had no factor in the play.
Yeah, that's the irony of the thing, is it's a penalty that, you're right, was
Excuse me, it had a factor in the play, but what I mean was what he didn't. It was unbelievable.
But called back, all for naught.
4th down.
And it'll lead to a 4th and 21.
And guess what? UCA is not sending anyone back.
Now, is that by design to make it a little bit easier, or was there some concern about them not having anybody back, Jess?
Well,
I know
I think
sometimes kickers like to have that little extra room to try and knock it down in there inside the 10, but
yeah. You have the right to refuse this penalty, to make them leave it there, so
they
that,
did.
you know, it makes it a little harder on the kicker to kick it out of bounds from there with any consistency. So it'll be interesting to see what the kicker does here.
Exactly.
I mean,
they declined the penalty.
They are defending. I mean, they are defending this baby.
Aims it for the corner.
Oh,
That is way out of bounds.
oh yeah. They're going to have pretty good field position.
Well, all things considered, if you are Central Arkansas and Coach Clint Conk, you've got to be pretty pleased with what just transpired there. It could have been a lot worse. They come out of it unscathed, and they'll get the ball actually outside the 20. 6:02, 3-point lead for the home team.
Rose College at 2 p.m. Sunday. Come on out and
23-20 is the good news if you are a Central Arkansas Bear, but the bad news is they still have 6 minutes to go, and they haven't been able to run the football. So what do you do, Jess?
They sure hadn't. Well, they really need to run it. They need to run some clock, and they need to hold on to that football. And like I said, they've made it a 4-quarter game. You got to give Coach Conk credit for that. That's what he wanted to do, and he's got to lead in the 4th quarter.
As you advertised, on the ground, the first play, and actually some good yardage here.
Very good yardage. They've been averaging 2 yards a carry throughout the first 3.5 quarters, so it'd be interesting to see if they can run the football.
Kentrell Rogers with a big pickup there, gets a gain of 8.
I know that's what they want to do. I promise you that's what Coach Conk right now is.
Actually, Rogers' numbers are not, by any stretch of the imagination, good, but they are better than most for his team. He's got 44 yards on the ground, including that rushing touchdown of 9 yards. That was the first score of the game. Still not even averaging 3 yards a carry, though, so it's been...
Kentrell is a very, very good running back from Fordyce, Arkansas. Fordyce Redbug, by the way. That's good.
And they keep him on the ground.
Play.
He's got a first down.
Big play. Good move.
Oh, and then some. Out close to the 40. He clearly had the first down, but then squeezed about another 4 or 5 yards out of it with that nice move at the end of the run. That's big. A first down on 2 running plays for the Bears.
Very big.
9-yard pickup.
Like a heavyweight boxer, they may be coming alive here in the 4th quarter when they got to and make something happen. The crowd's getting into this game, too, here in the 4th quarter, and I'm sure that's giving the boys a little bit of incentive to keep moving that ball.
Bears have not beaten the Lions in Conway since 1971. In fact, the last time they beat them at all was in 2001 in Florence. So this will be a big win for them, needless to say. That's back to the kind of defense we'd seen earlier. Terrific defensive play by Lee Vickers.
Tackle made by number 19, Lee Vickers.
From Athens, Georgia, I wonder how the Bulldogs let him get away. That looked like a pretty good tackle to me.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd and 10 for 39.
As you say, good anticipation here. Fights off a block, and yes, sir. Fine tackle by Vickers, 2nd and 10.
6'6", 250. That's a nice-sized young man.
He's doing a good job. He's fighting a block and making the tackle all at the same time. Did well to keep that to no gain. But of course, the clock running now. We're closing in on 4 minutes. That was a big first down to start this drive. We're going to go back in the air. Wide open.
Boy,
what a terrific hit.
Great
Terrific hit by number 27, Blake Farris. He's had an interception tonight. He's the leading interceptor for this team, and he laid a hit on Jones that time.
That young man's had a heck of a night, hasn't he? He's had a great night. His name's been called a lot.
But again, for the home team, the good news is it was complete inbounds, and so the clock will continue to run. Pickup of, looked like about 5, but is there a flag on the play? There was a flag on the play. Didn't see it. We're waiting for the call. Lots of conferencing.
UCA's backing up, so it must be against them. They're conceding already, huh?
Somebody gave them a heads up, which we haven't gotten yet. I saw no preliminary signal, so we're waiting to see.
Oh, there it is.
What happens now? Here comes the call.
When the big man with the U on his back has their own yellow flag, it's usually a holding penalty. You know what I mean?
Holds true there as well. Well, they're backed up now to the 29, and that's significant because obviously they're forced to kick it away. Field goal sends this thing to the overtime that you were advertising moments ago, Coach Branch.
I just have a feeling, you know,
You've been around us a long time. Far be it for me to doubt you. We'll see. 2nd and 20 from the 29. Brown. That was a miscommunication.
Miscommunication, definitely was.
That's thrown away, so it winds up being 3rd and 20, and this is a big, big play right here. How aggressive do you get here, Coach?
Not real. I mean, you want to make sure you got the ball, got a chance to put the football away, I think. And
especially the way your defense is playing.
You know, who knows what to give. He may throw a screen pass or a draw play. You know, it'd be something to just make sure you get the punt the ball on 4th down. They got a great punter, and they've done a great job covering tonight. However, Reggie Barrett will be back there.
That's a good point. Take a look at those numbers. 66 yards on the ground for UCA, only 36 for UNA. And the defenses have really put together quite a half on both teams here after the intermission.
Oh, good ball.
Well, he's down the field. He's got a man. That's going to be awfully close. Stays in bounds.
The pass from
Ben
Nathan
Ferris.
Brown, complete to number 1, Ben Ferris.
I don't think it's going to be enough, though.
Number 2, Jason Campbell.
That's okay. It gets you in great field position. You got a chance to, you know, punt that ball way back down the field.
Well, that was big. That's an 18-yard pickup, and now
what are they doing?
One could assume they're going to kick it away here. Here comes Thomas Garland and the punt unit out on the team, and now you got a chance, as you said, Jesse, to really put them in deep in a hole. But you do have the dangerous guy back there, and Anthony Merritt, who is not really busted out tonight, but boy, he's capable at any time.
They're going to let that clock run down all the way to 1 second and call timeout. They got as much time off of it as they could possibly get. Well, Coach Conk said that he was not going to kick the ball to Reggie. So let's see if he doesn't.
We'll see when we come back. There's a timeout on the field. Gives us a chance to time out and get ready for the last 2:52. It's a 3-point ball game. Well, it's nail-biting time here in Conway, Arkansas. Bob Valvano with Jesse Branch and Cabal on the sidelines, and we have a punting situation. 4th and 2 on the 47. Where the Lions will get it back, presumably, with 2 timeouts. That is going to be out of bounds. We will see where they spot it.
True to his word, he was not going to kick it to Reggie. He was not going to give him a chance. He kicked it out of bounds.
Kick it anywhere near Anthony Merritt, and that was good reason right there. Let's go down to the sideline now, Jim Cabal. Jim?
Bob, Vinny Saylor got a little encouragement from his teammates as he was on the sideline. They said to him, Vinny, this is what every quarterback dreams of, a final drive to attempt to win the game. And Vinny said back to them, hey, we haven't had any big plays yet this game. I have a feeling we can do something right now. You saw the play they tried to attempt. They scored on it, but they got called with the penalty. I have a feeling something's left in the arm of Vinny Saylor and the athleticism of Merritt and Fountain. Bob?
Those are the guys that'll have to lead them to the game-tying or game-winning score. Swings it out to Packer to the right side. He's up to around the 20. Well, actually, they called out of bounds back at the 27. So that's going to be a pickup of only 4. Out of bounds, though. Stops the clock.
Stop the clock. That's probably the big key in it. 2:38 left.
Gain of 6 yards. Correction, gain of 3 yards.
I'm telling you one thing. UCA's defending. They got 3 men rushing. They got 8 people back.
Looks down the field, throws it into coverage. Oh, it was almost intercepted and then almost complete. It went through the defender's hands and almost into the hands of Reggie Hubbard, and he would have been off to the races. How about that?
Even I almost sucked the air out of the stadium on that one.
Wow.
That could have been a touchdown very easy.
Take a look at that again. He throws it into coverage. It looks like it's going to be a pick, and then through the defender's hands, and there is Hubbard. Almost. It would have been a miracle reception and maybe a touchdown. 3rd and 7 now from the 26.
Well, What a big
Fountain
play.
and Merritt are the guys, and Long have been his go-to guys. See where he looks this time. Well, that's a terrific catch by Merritt. Wow.
Pass from Denny Saylor is complete to number 21.
What a play.
How about that, Jess? That was
What a play. That ball
well-thrown ball, but a brilliant grab.
He put it the only place he could put it, too. I mean, it was well covered.
Take a look at this again. As you say, well thrown, but that is full out on the fingertips and a great grab.
Right between two defenders.
Well thrown ball by Saylor, first down now at the 38. And there he is again. Merritt, left side, trying to get out of bounds, stop the clock, and he does at about the 42. It'll be a pickup of 4.
On the end around. Tackle made by number 19, Jasper Johnson.
See Mark Hudspeth signaling the plays as he does each time they don't huddle, as Jesse pointed out a while ago. Saylor communicates the play to his teammates. Plenty of time on his play clock, 15 seconds. Quick out to the left, and dropped. Wide open was Fountain, but heard some footsteps and dropped it, and it'll be a 3rd down and 6.
Number 26, Isaac Hendricks on coverage.
Wouldn't have been a first down anyway, but certainly would have brought up a 3rd and short rather than this 3rd and 6.
I'm going to be shocked if they keep running this 3-man line and North Alabama doesn't run the football. It's going to be, I mean, they got everybody in the world back in pass defense. They got 3 men rushing with 5 blockers up there. You would.
This is where DeMarcus Blunt being out is probably a factor. Under pressure, takes off, run's going to be close. Going to be very close, but I believe he's got it. Vinny Saylor with a presence of mind. Before the game, I heard Mark Hudspeth talking on his pregame radio show. That's where DeMarcus Blunt being out is a factor. He is a guy that can just, between the tackles, grind some yardage out. They don't have that right now, but straight ahead Saylor gets the first down now at the 48.
Like I said, he can run the football like this against this 3-man rush himself.
Ooh. Ball was badly underthrown and clearly incomplete. So I'm not sure he was anticipating the hit, but it came nonetheless. As Kendrick says, easy now. I got to think there. Could have been a penalty. Don't want to take one now. 2nd and 10.
Making some wholesale substitutions here on the UCA time, trying to get some fresh guys in there to rush that passer.
See Hendricks pleading his case with the official. Did not throw the flag. 2nd and 10 now for 48 for Saylor and the Lion offense. Yeah, that's pretty good coverage there. Again, I couldn't even see Fountain. He was so well covered.
You know, and Saylor's taking a lot of hits tonight. He's throwing the ball, but I mean, right at the time he releases it, he's getting hit. I think that's some of those passes now starting to be just a little off target, because I'm telling you what, he's getting beat up back there at the quarterback position.
He has taken some licks, and again, made worse by the fact they really have had no threat of running the football. 28 rushes for 47 yards, so it's all pass coverage all the time. Let's see what they do here on 3rd and 10 defensively. Only bringing 3. He's in trouble. Pulls it down and turns it into about a 5-yard gain. Number 47 runs him down. Lawrence Atkinson again. He has been very, very active here in the second half defensively for this team.
Bolton, Mississippi, Pearl River Junior College. One of the transfers is doing an excellent job here for UCA. Great rush on that passer. 3-man rush.
Only 3-man rush, and yet they're getting all sorts of pressure on him. They're having a hard time keeping them out, even only 3 rushers.
Yep, but they also got great coverage downfield, so it's taking a long time for anybody to uncover themselves, and you got to give UCA credit for that. They're doing a great job.
Take a deep breath and sprint with us through the finish line. It's a good one here in Conway, 23-20. Beautiful campus here at the University of Central Arkansas, but that is not on most people's minds right now, because really, with only 1 timeout left for the Lions, Jesse, it's a first down, or pretty much this one is in the books.
They could very easily run out the clock if they can just make this stop here. course, that's a big if.
4th and 5. Here we go. Saylor looks, throws, got a man.
He made it.
I believe he's got the first down. What a big second half Chip Long has had. That's going to be his 10th reception of the game. And none bigger than that one, because the game literally on the line with that. It would have been over had they not made the first down, but they do. And it'll be 1st and 10 at the 40. 4 receivers to the left. Comes back to Merritt. He's got some blocking. Going to turn it into about a 5-yard pickup.
We're getting close to field goal range.
Yes, we are. They have had a pretty good field goal kicker in Utah Fukuda. Former Gulf South Conference Special Teams Player of the Week when he made 4 field goals earlier this year. He's got 2 tonight. They're not thinking field goal right now. Again, Merritt. And he's going to fight his way for what appears to be the first down, which will should stop the clock while they move the chains. Officials are signaling for the clock to be stopped, but it's still running. Now they finally stop it at 34, and Vinny Saylor says we lost about 8 seconds there.
They'll have to put some time back on the clock. I believe that was
They certainly should, because they were signaling to stop the clock there. Somewhere in there, I believe.
I know Coach Husband thinks they need some time back on that clock.
Yes, for sure. So does that young man. Utah Fukuda must be thinking, well, when I left Japan, did I think I would be in this situation? A young man who played soccer in Japan, came over here and fell in love with American football and literally bought himself a football, practiced on his own for a couple of years, caught the coach's attention. They have put him on the squad, and the game may hinge on his right foot. 2 of 3 tonight with a long of 42, which means they are getting close to his range right now. That is not a popular decision with the fans, but frankly, it's the right decision. They signaled for that clock to be stopped a good 7 seconds ago.
Of course, if it's not a first down, that thing's going to start back as soon as it gets changed set, unless they call timeout.
Only 1 timeout remaining for the Lions, and they are short.
He is short. As soon as they get those chains set, that clock's going.
So that'll bring up a 3rd and very short. There's only 1 timeout to go. Now let's work the math here. It's at the 30-yard line. It would be about a 47-yard attempt if they don't get any closer. Certainly they would like to get a little bit closer. Fukuda, as you saw, has missed a 42-yarder earlier tonight. This would be at the very back end of his range. They've had success with that tonight. Vinny Saylor.
Vinny Saylor on the quarterback sneak.
Now clock management, so important at the end of games. That will stop the clock to move the chains.
Gain of 1 yard. To the 30-yard line. Good for a first down.
The clock starts with 35 remaining, and we'll see how aggressive they'll be. Saylor gives to Merritt. Tries to turn the corner, and he's got some room, and the ball is loose. Did he fumble it inbounds or out of bounds? Let's see.
Inbound.
They signal inbounds?
Yes.
I've yet to see a signal. I'm not so sure. I don't know that we've seen a signal. I don't think that they called that a fumble. Or if they did, he recovered it out of bounds. I have yet to see an official signal that it is Bears football.
Well, I know
if we have a replay here, this is going to be much discussed one way or another, I'm sure. I never saw an official signal that it was Central Arkansas ball.
Well, the UCA players do not think that they're going back to the huddle. And Coach Hudspeth sure doesn't.
I thought the ball was fumbled out of bounds, and the defender caught it out of bounds, but
it's a long way from us, though, isn't it?
It is a very long way, and by saying that, I just meant by the way most people reacted. I didn't see if he had caught it inbounds, I would have thought the officials would have signaled it right away, and no one did. So that was why I formed the impression, not that I saw where he was standing. Let's see here. Ooh, this is going to elicit a response one way or another.
Ball was fumbled out of bounds. Defensive team. By rule, the ball goes back to the spot of the fumble. Will be second down.
let's watch it again here. Let's see when the ball pops out of his hands. More importantly, where does it get recovered? It's not where it comes out of his hands. There's the ball loose. His right foot is out of bounds.
Yeah, he's on the line.
Is it like, you're the ex-coach, is it like a football, a pass reception? Does he have to have a foot in bounds?
Yes, he does. Oh, that's intentional grounding there. Yeah.
There's a flag as we're back to live action, and
oh, they let some time run off that clock again. They'll have to put some time back on.
If that's going to be intentional grounding with 5 seconds on the clock, that is going to be a big, big penalty because that's going to be a long field goal.
It's assessed from where he threw the ball.
For Utah Fakata, let's see. There was a receiver in the area, so it is not. The flag is picked up. It is no call. And Utah Fakata will have to try one from the 27. It'll be a 44. Excuse me, it'll be a 37-yard attempt.
UCA going to try to freeze him.
Well, if they choose to, they can freeze him for a while because they still have, according to the scoreboard, one more timeout after that. So you and I may be chatting for a while.
What a ball game. Boy,
this has been a tremendously entertaining
No score.
game.
No score in the second half.
Well, I can't imagine if you're watching, you'd leave, so I'm going to not even encourage you to come back. I know you will be. It's 23-20. We'll find out if we got overtime or not when we come back. Regulation. Utah Fakuda, who's already made 2 field goals.
But he missed that last one. Don't you know that's going back through his mind? This is a terrible position for a kicker to be in. But, hey, who knows?
He's made one from 42. This will be from 37. They called one timeout to freeze him. Now we'll have a chance to send it into overtime. It is good. How about that? How about that? That is a terrific story. No matter how you look at it, for a young man who grew up, to the best of my knowledge anyway, not playing this game in his native Japan. He was a soccer player, has come over, fell in love with the game, bought himself a football, practiced for 2 years, got the attention of the coaches, and now has kicked the game-tying field goal that might possibly extend this 4-game unbeaten start to the season. How about that?
I tell you what, the pressure didn't bother him. You know, he missed his last field goal, then he steps out there, they call timeout, freeze him. Hey, he drills it right through the center.
He did. He put it right down the middle, and now we will have one of the most exciting things in sport, the overtime. But Coach, I know you came up in the day when there was no overtime. How do you feel about college overtime?
Well, I've always said that I hated overtimes because it was like kissing your sister, you know. And I mean,
depends on who your sister is, but
but I mean, I think it's very good for college football because that way at least there's a winner decided. I'm not sure that the method, the way they do it, I'm not sure which one, NFL or whether college football has it the right way or not. I don't know which one I'd say was absolute best, but it's good for college football, I think, and that way there's going to be a winner. I mean, we're not going to leave here tonight until there's a winner. I mean, and that's just the way it is, and I don't think it's that way in NFL, if I remember correctly. I think they can still.
They can. It's unusual, but there can be a tie. You're correct if they play that whole 15-minute session without a score, but. I'm not an ex-football coach, so I can just speak as a fan. I think this is terrific because you made the good point when we started the broadcast tonight. The team that kicks off, you said, scores more frequently than the team that receives the opening kick. And in overtime in the NFL, as you know, it shows that it's no disadvantage to kick off in overtime. But there's just something that from a fan's point of view that bothers you when, if it is that rare game where the team takes the kickoff in overtime and scores, how could you lose without ever getting the football? This way, you know everybody's going to get a crack.
Everybody's going to get a chance in the college game. They're going to get a chance to score, and it's just a matter of, you know, And the thing about it, you got after after the second touchdown, you have to start going for 2.
Yes.
And,
let's not start thinking that far ahead now.
I told you we may be here all night because these two teams are good, and I mean they want to win. They don't want to lay down. They don't want to go home. They won't unless they win.
They have shown a lot of ability. They've shown a lot of defensive prowess in the second half, offensive firepower in the first half. But you summed it up. They showed a lot of heart, because neither of these teams have laid down when they had the opportunity to let the other team grab the momentum. They have fought back.
It's
a
very
coin toss, and let's see what we get.
In this deal, they definitely want to defend to start with, because you want to know what you got to do.
Absolutely, a big advantage.
Every coach, I think, does it to do that.
Toss was won by UNA, and so they did just choose, as you correctly said, to defend. Take a look at the overtime record for the UNA Lions. 3-3 all-time in overtime games. And Central Arkansas is unbeaten in extra sessions. They are 2-0. So
something's got to give.
This will get your blood burning.
Something has to give.
How much can you coach overtime?
Well,
I mean, like in practice. Could you
well, you really don't, because all week long you practice the red zone. That's probably not all week long, but you have certain plays that you're going to use in the red zone. So they're all ready for this. And, you know, it's like whatever plays they had set up at the 25 in.
What's interesting is to get a look on the far side. All the fans who are at one end of the field have moved. They're in mass moving to our left.
They don't get any help officiating.
Because they're only going to be at this end of the field, so there's just people jumping out of their seats and making the move to where the action is, and the action will be at the 25-yard line going to our left.
Aaron Perez, no catches in the second half, not one. No, they got one.
Yeah, he had one. He had 7 at the half, wound up with 8.
He had one, I'm sorry.
Chip Long has been the big story. He winds up with 10. All right, let's see. And there's a fumble on the first possession. A fumble on the first play in the overtime. And the wind has come out of the sails here. They have not run the football well all night. A mishandle on the exchange between Brown and Rogers. And just like that, Utah Fukuda may wind up sending everybody home in a few minutes.
You know, this crowd just went totally silent.
Well, that's the advantage you talk about by having the defense first, because now knowing you just need a field goal to win, you can be a little bit conservative here.
They can line up and kick it right now.
Well, he's shown that he could make it from, you're right, it would be a 42-yard attempt.
Yeah.
He could make it from there, but this is where you need your defense to step up, and we'll see if the Bears can step up and make a play.
They have all night. We'll see.
Saylor gives to Packer, and there's a play right there. Right now they have moved him back out of field goal range. Terrific play by Kelvin Horn. Well, that was just what you needed your defense to do. It is a 47-yard attempt now. They've got to get some of that yardage back. And the defense steps up and makes a big play on first down.
They sure did. That was a huge play. You know, the field is so short down here now, you can really get up on those receivers and play them a little tougher. And they've been getting good pass rush, so we'll see what happens.
Quick to Merritt. He's got the initial line of scrimmage retaken with that reception. He gets it back to the 25. Angelosi there for the stop. Actually got it just across the 25, so it's 3rd and 9. But again, the very back end of the range, one would think for Utah Fukuda, it would be a 41-yard try right now. He's made one from 42. Rene takes a timeout. Want to rely on the hand signals right now. They want to talk it over. I got to think, though, Coach, you'd be a lot more confident if you could make a first down. I mean, that field goal attempt would be a whole heck of a lot more in his range. This is a difficult really back end of the range to make it from here.
Yeah. Well, at least a 5-yard gain. You know, at least 5 or 6 more yards, that'll make a heck of a difference. You know, right now for your 42-yard field goal, that's stretching it for this young man.
The best Division II football conference in the country rolls on. Tonight's action, the norm rather than the exception. Look at this weekend's games, culminating in the number 5 Valdosta State, 24 Delta State game, which will be part of our TV package, and that's going to be, if it's anything like this one, you'll have another classic. Check your local
Bob,
listings.
you're going to chicken out on that one, huh? You know,
I don't want to hog all the fun, so let Donnie Russell come in. He'll do a great job, and I'm sure you'll get a good game there. But we still have some work to do here. 3rd down and 9.
Oh, a big play right here.
At the 24. See how conservative they are. They send Fountain in motion. Little delay. That's going to be a good gain. Close to a first down. I believe he's got it. How about that for Eric Packer?
Little draw play.
It is stone quiet in here now.
Stone quiet. But I'd really be shocked if he doesn't go ahead and kick the field goal right now. You know, because you take a chance of turning it over every play from here on.
That was a nicely
with a kicker like we've got.
Nicely executed play there, but I would think that whatever they run, it's going to be awfully conservative. Let's see. Touchdown wins it too, though. You don't have to rely on the field goal. Let's see how aggressive they are. Keep it on the ground, right up the gut for number 6 Packer. It's nowhere basically. See how far into this he goes before he sends the kicker out.
Boy, this crowd is dead silent, isn't it?
Well, it is. It is a bit of a shocker. I mean, the Bears had a 16-0 lead in this one, came back after falling behind 20-16 to take a 23-20 lead at the intermission. The last play of the game ties it. They have not beaten North Alabama since 2001 and not beaten them here in Conway since 1971. So it's been a long drought. They look like they had one tonight. Not over yet, but looking bleak for them right now.
Boy, he's squeezing that ball, isn't he? He had both hands on that ball. He wasn't about to get stripped through that.
Playing it very close to the vest. Pick up about 2, and that's enough. Coach says, I've seen enough. Coach Hudspeth says, that's close enough. Let's bring the guy who was the hero in regulation out there. He made the field goal. 37-yarder in the last play of regulation to send this thing to overtime, and here he is again. Utah Fukuda from the 19, a 29-yard attempt, and it's blocked! And we're not done yet!
What a ball game!
How about that? They say you need players to make plays in big situations. None bigger than that one. Let's see if we watch the replay, see who gets a paw on it. Here it is. Right in the center, but difficult to see a number there. Maybe we'll get another angle at it, but just a brilliant defensive play. And after a game that saw 43 points go on the board in the first half, we had 3 in the second half on the last play of regulation, and now a scoreless first overtime. And we'll tee it up again for overtime number 2.
Now I believe that North Alabama goes on defense. I mean, goes on offense first. I'm sorry. UCA on defense.
I believe you are correct. They flip-flop it, and so the advantage, if there is such a thing.
The script should read now, UNA is going to fumble. Oh, me, what a ball game. Block kicks, we got a little bit of everything.
Well, the one thing you've got a lot of on both these teams is a lot of heart. You saw the great comeback by North Alabama to score on the last play in regulation, and that would have been very easy for Central Arkansas there to start licking their wounds. They fumbled on the first play of overtime. Instead, they stepped up and blocked the kick. And so we got some more football to play. Vinny Saylor will take his offensive unit back on the field. He can get one of his playmakers involved. Merritt and Fountain, his main guys, but Chip Long has had a big night as well. He's got 10 catches. Merritt's got 12. And there is Long. Makes the catch over the middle for a pickup of about 7. Long's caught a touchdown pass earlier in the game, and that's a big first down play. So a 2nd and 3. Fountain. He's inside the 10, out of bounds at about the 7. Jerron Fountain, one of the go-to guys. That is the one thing I always am concerned about, though, when you know you only need a field goal in overtime, is that you do get so conservative, I think, that you wind up with nothing. They're much more aggressive now, as you see right here. The pass over the middle, the run there by Fountain, and now they're in a couple of plays. Actually, they mark it inside the 5-yard line.
And both these defenses have to be getting somewhat exhausted, you would think, because they've been rushing that passer all night long, both sides, especially UCA. I mean, they've had this rush in the second half.
1st and goal at the 5. Intended for Messing. His outside hand out of bounds. Incomplete. Take a look again. Pretty well defended. Really not much there, even had the ball lands well out of bounds. No chance for him to catch that. UNA is 37 of 57 right now for 255 yards. Couple of touchdowns for Saylor. Give this to Fountain. Not much there, or is there? Let's see. Pretty well defended. Looks like he might turn the corner, but ran out of real estate, and they knock him out of bounds at about the 3. 3rd and goal. Angelosi, not surprisingly, and on the stop.
That's the longest run I've ever seen for 3.
You brought that up earlier. You get your money's worth with Jerron Fountain. He covers about 30 yards for every 2-yard pickup. He is an exciting runner, but did a nice job, the defense, that time, of not letting him turn the corner.
But that defense is having to pursue all that time, and it's one of those things.
I'll tell you, the only guys probably more grateful than we are that it's not as hot as it was for last week's game are the guys on the field right now. Could you imagine playing a double overtime game if this were one of those 96-degree jobbers?
Oh,
I mean, with all the pursuit you're talking about, all these passing plays, there'd be some exhausted defenders out there. I'm sure they're tired enough. Mark Hudspeth takes a timeout. That field goal kick, was it mishit by Fukuda, or did they just get in there? It looked like it was high enough to have gone through if he'd...
I think they just made a great jump in the middle. It looked like they got a great push, in the center of the field. They had a guy jump high, and I believe he got up extremely high.
Yeah, he looked like
and got his hands on the ball. But it almost had to be a little low, because if it comes off like it should, high enough, you shouldn't be able to block it up the middle like that. But they sure blocked it very solidly.
You're just joining us. You have missed a dandy. 16 unanswered points by the home team to take a 16-0 lead. 20 unanswered points by North Alabama to come back and take a 20-16 lead. A touchdown right before the half gave Central Arkansas a 23-20 lead. The only points in the second half, a field goal on the last play in regulation by Utah Fukuda. That has taken us into overtime. We had a blocked field goal and a fumble in the first overtime. No points, and that's how we've gotten to this point. And now a batted down pass on 3rd and goal, and we may see Mr. Fukuda again. Boy, these defenses, beautiful defensive penetration that time by Jeremy Pittman. Right in Saylor's face, knocks the pass down. And Utah Fukuda will try for his 4th field goal of the night. On a 20-yard chip shot, basically. Good hold, good snap, and it's good.
The field goal attempt is good.
It was a good pressure kick again. They had a good rush on him again too. He just kept that head down and drilled it.
UCA 23.
They bow to Mr. Fukuda, paying respect to his native homeland of Japan. A great story. We talked about him all night. And he comes through with a field goal in the second overtime to give his team the lead. But Central Arkansas, this is what makes this such a beautiful setup. They can win, they can tie, they can lose. We have every
but
possible
they know what they
scenario.
Got to do. They know exactly what they got to do.
Big advantage to have the football second.
They can know all they got to do is move it down 10 yards and they can kick a field goal and tie it, or they should be able to, or they can take it in, score, and it's over.
Keep in mind they have not had a field goal tonight. 3 touchdowns and a safety, and they have only had one. Have they even attempted a field goal? They have not attempted a field goal. I thought I had that right. I was going to say they hadn't, and then I remembered one miss earlier, but that's right. That was by Fukuda in the first half. So they have not even attempted a field goal. I'm not sure you want to put a lot of stock in a long field goal attempt when you haven't tried one all night long. We'll see if Nathan Brown and company can avoid that. Touchdown would win it for the home team and end what has been a long drought against this team in their own stadium. On the ground. There's a bit of room there. Good gain. Rogers turns it into a pickup of 6 inside the 20.
That's a little misdirection counterplay, pulling that backside guard and tackle. Get good yardage out of this thing. Real good yardage. There comes a big man leading the guard, and actually that's a tight end coming around. Big misdirection play there to pick up 7 yards the hard way, or 6 yards the hard way.
You saw number 48, Darren Shaw, in there helping with the blocking to open up that 6-yard gain, 2nd and 4.
One thing they've had success with, of course, out of that off that action is a bootleg too, and it wouldn't shock me to see that at any time here.
A lot of room up there for Feruz. They stay on the ground, and they're going to get a first down. Well, they haven't been able to run the football all night, but when it matters most, they have. A couple of running plays inside the 15 now, first down.
Maybe they've got them softened up now. Who knows?
Just had to wear them down over the first 65 minutes or so here. Rogers, another carry, and it's down to the 13. 1st and 10 for the Bears, who are trying to push it in and upset North Alabama's so far undefeated season. And a flag?
In motion. They had a motion coming, I believe.
Kentrell Rogers on the carry.
They're riding the Kentrell Rogers Express right now, but I believe it's going to come back if Coach Branch is correct. And he saw some motion, but no.
Oh, it's going to be just North Alabama. Must have lined
Nathan
up
Brown.
They must have lined up offside. He's like
applauding.
replay.
Offside. Brings it inside the 10. Take a look at a guy who I'm guessing, would be more than happy if they don't need him. That is number 90, Garrett Morgan. He is 3 of 5 on the year. His long of 38, obviously, right now, nowhere near that. So he's got only a short field goal to kick, but I'm sure he'd be happy if they don't need his services at all. Good penetration that time in the backfield. Number 46 makes a good defensive stop. That's a good play by Tim Hunt. Backs him up a pair to the 10-yard line. 2nd and 7 now.
Well, they had great penetration on that play that time because that loss.
The overtime started with a fumble on the first play for Central Arkansas, but a blocked field goal attempt by North Alabama has taken us to this point. The Lions got a field goal with their first possession of this second overtime. They lead by 3 and trying to hang on here. Throws it up in the air. That's going to be a flag. And they're trying to throw it.
Guess who?
Terrific receiver. Guy who's had a big night. Feruz, 8 catches, 130 yards, 2 touchdowns. They were looking for the 3rd one, which would have sent everybody home.
That should be, I think it'd be a defensive hold and an automatic first down is what it would be, because it certainly wasn't a catchable ball.
Take a listen and find out. Yes, it is. It's an automatic first down on the hold.
Ball was holding against North Alabama, half the distance to the goal line.
So it should wind up at the 5-yard line with half the distance to the goal. And a first down and getting awfully close. That is the great ability of Feruz out there. That 6'6" height with such pressure on that defensive back and gets called for the hold. And now a first down, a chance to punch it in.
Well, he was running the same route he scored on in the first half, and obviously they were not going to let him run that route. They had to tackle him, and that's what they did.
Oh, he's got some room. Oh, nice tackle there. Boy, that was quickly recovered by number 33, Donald Tharp. Pursued that. Looked like he had some room, did Kentrell Rogers, but after a couple of yard pickup. Let's take a look here. He turns the corner, Jesse. Looks like this game might be over, but watch the pursuit.
I'm impressed with the way they come off and watch this hit. Gee whiz. I mean, they really are hitting each other out there. Kentrell Rogers, he is a good football player. He's proven himself as the yardage shows. Man, what a great hit.
Second down now from the 3.
Look at that.
Again, they just, the heart of these players, and they're right in the middle of it again is Tharp and others.
I mean, he hit in there full speed, and I mean, it comes right back out. This is a great defensive play.
Courtney Wright in on the stop. Marcus Jackson in there as well. Number 44, Dusty Shack in there. Third and goal from the 4.
Those guys have a bad attitude over on defense.
You got to think they're going to have to throw to stick it in there. Where is Mr. Feruz? Send Shea Jones in motion to the right. And they throw it to him for the game winner. Shea Jones. That's going to be a winner for the home team in dramatic fashion. Shea Jones with the 3-yard reception. They put him in motion. They found him wide open in the right corner of the end zone. Nathan Brown put it right on the money, and Clint Conk has got himself a victory here in double overtime, 29-26. Terrific game, 2 terrific coaches. Entertaining for all of us, Jesse, a great game.
Another one falls from the unbeaten.
The final score of tonight's game.
29-26 as you take a look at Clint Conk. Puts a dramatic victory on the board with his team able to come through in the second overtime. The Bears get it done. Shea Jones with the touchdown reception for the game winner. I want to thank the athletic directors at both schools, Joe Urban from UNA and Vance Strange from UCA, the 2 SIDs, Jeff Hodges and Steve East. To Patrick McCree, our producer. Reminder, Saturday, Valdosta State and Delta State, numbers 5 and 24, 6 p.m. For Jesse Branch and Jim Cavell, this is Bob Valvano. Good night, everyone.